From 2 to 7, WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
This sport brought to you by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results. Visit chefiq.com. The Giants' 2-7 football team for the third year in a row, losing to the Niners on Sunday. In the loss, Jackson Dart threw for 191 yards, accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air. He knows going forward, have to fight through tough times.
We have to have the intensity, the focus as a whole team to, weather the adversity storms and always just keep the belief that we're going to win.
With the win, San Francisco 6-3. Next up for the Giants, a road game in Chicago. Sunday Night Football, the Seahawks beat the Commanders 38-14. Washington not only losing the game, but Jaden Daniels suffered a dislocated elbow in the fourth quarter. Monday Night Football will close out the week with the Cowboys and the Cardinals. Westwood One coverage right here on the Fan. The Knicks beat the Bulls 128-116. Snap a 3-game losing streak. Tonight, right back at it at home against Washington. The Nets will be home for Minnesota. Brooklyn falling to Philadelphia Sunday 129-105 as they fall to 0-6. The Islanders beat the Blue Jackets 3-2 with 2 late goals for Matthew Schaefer and Simon Holmstrom. The Ducks over the Devils 4-1. And Major League Baseball did announce their Golden Glove winners. Max Fried, the only local player to win one. College basketball begins tonight. St. John's takes on Quinnipiac. Seton Hall plays St. Peter's. UConn facing New Haven. This report brought to you by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. They are Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. Also brought to you by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One legendary name, 2 exceptional Lexus destinations. Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth, where they proudly sell more Lexus vehicles than any other Lexus dealership in New Jersey. Experience the best selection and expert service only at Ray Cattina Lexus. It's 56 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Enough. That's it. It's got to be over now. I don't care what happens, BT, the final 8 weeks. And you know me, I've been trying to be patient and lenient and have been a supporter of Brian Dable over the years. This is not about Brian Dable. This is about the entire organization, specifically Shane and Dable. There is nothing else that needs to be seen now. He fired his final salvo, going to Jackson Dart. Dart looks great. The team continues to lose. The Giants need to make significant changes this offseason, if not sooner. But that's where I'm at with this team.
Cue the band and start playing taps. It's absolutely over. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted, and I'm no longer doing it. Like having the conversation, well, if Dart plays well, he can save Dable's job, and even if Dable's job is not saved, well, maybe Joe Shane can stay. Nonsense. It's over, as Sal just said. It is absolutely over. And you know when it's over because, let's face it, guys, we've had a lot of practice identifying when it's over with local football teams. But when you have players, I'm putting the glasses on because it's a bit of a long list here, right? When players start leaving the locker room early and players are questioning everything before they leave the locker room early and franchise icons bashing star players, which is what happened later. And I don't even know if it's bashing, being just very honest about, the Carl Banks, Dexter Lawrence situation last week. Now you have the planes overhead again. You have opposing fans taking over the stadium. The head coach sounds utterly defeated. It's over, man. I mean, there is really nothing else to say. Can somebody please get a towel? Please, and just throw it into the center of the ring to save this pathetic franchise, this once proud, iconic franchise that is an absolute train wreck that nobody believes in. Nobody, they have sucked the life out of the Giant fan, and it is unequivocally over.
And realistically, it should have been over a year ago. And we wanted to prevent this exact scenario from happening. Had they made the decision, like we talked about they should have, based on what they saw for 3 years, Shane and Dable wouldn't have been around. Now, they wouldn't have done this anyway, because even if they did fire somebody last year, it would have been Dable, not Shane, which still would have been a disaster, maybe even worse. Now the hope is that they get both out. And by the way, I'm not even so sure they would. But last year, after seeing them for 3 years fail miserably and get worse as the years go on, they should have fired Shane and Dable and had a new regime pick a different quarterback, because now they got to pick a quarterback. And while the quarterback is a success and a hit, they shouldn't be around to see this thing through. And now it's a new regime with a quarterback that they didn't select, as good as he might be. I mean, there are no guarantees he's going to be great. But for those people that are hanging on to, wow, I know that Dable and Dart can work together offensively, dude, you got to look at everything else. Like, there are no more arguments to be made the other way. And even if they won 8 in a row, which they're not going to, I still don't think they're any good. Like, this is now the 3rd straight season they've started 2-7.
Check.
Like, they went to Jackson Dart. The idea was, imagine, BT, had they tried with Russell Wilson to win some games, and we're here at 2-7, and now they go to Jackson Dart. Like, it was either going to happen week 4, it was either going to happen now. At some point, we were going to get the final evaluation of what Brian Dable and Shane were based on what Jackson Dart was going to be. The problem is, Dart's a hit, but they still continue to lose. I mean, they're 2-4 with them. They're with the rookie quarterback. It's over. That's it. I can't talk about it.
I know. I mean, that's why I said, get the band, start playing taps. I mean, it's over here. You're right. So the other thing, too, is not a lot, but some people will still hold on to the notion, which at this point, I believe is laughable. All right. Wow. I mean, Jackson Dart, this relationship with Dable, and do you really want to risk that, maybe regression in year 2, guys? I mean, please. Okay. So you look at inherited quarterbacks, right? How the Bears doing right now with a quarterback that nobody really thought was that good, who now suddenly is doing some pretty decent things with a new head coach. How about Drake May with a new head coach? Granted, Vrabel has a track record, but like this thought that you can't disrupt the marriage of Dart and Dable is really some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard. Jackson Dart, if he's healthy, all right, for the next however many years, is going to be, let's tap the brakes and not say a superstar, but a hell of a player, no matter who's coaching him. Honestly, I believe that.
But it's not an ideal situation, because you'd rather have a head coach and general manager who selected their quarterback and then develop him the way that they want from year 1 or whatever year that is, but all together, and then move on. So it's not, now I'm not saying that you can't have success with Dart. I'm just saying that, like, dude, this was predictable dating back to a year ago. It's not the ideal situation. So I do understand why some people would say, be hesitant to move on from this combo. However, you'd be an idiot to think otherwise.
I don't know who the hell's saying that. If anybody's saying that, please say it louder, because I don't hear it anymore, Sal. Here's what we heard about the Giants. When the Dallas Cowboys came in a couple of years ago and just smashed them to smithereens 40-0, that was the night that Andrew Thomas hurt his hamstring. Well, without Andrew Thomas, the Giants can't have a functional offense. Well, guess what, guys? Andrew Thomas is healthy, and Andrew Thomas is balling. Giants still stink, okay? And then the other thing we heard was, well, look at all the resources we devoted, whether it's draft picks or money, and Burns. God, Burns is phenomenal. But all the things we put on the defensive side, well, why have they given up 30 points 3 straight games? And, this is when, and I knew it was over before this, but when they got the sack, the fumble, the pick, I know that they changed the call when Abdul Corday wound up going down as a sack and a fumble, okay? Think about the first play that they ran from scrimmage. I mean, that's a 7-year-old peewee up the middle just to see if the offensive line could snap the ball and do anything in concert. Like, at the lowest level of football, that is a losing play, right? Which means that is a losing mentality, which means this is a losing franchise. What you do, you got to know this. Even though the Niners are incredibly banged up and they got the backup quarterback and their O-line is gashed and they're missing 3 of their best defensive players. What you do at that point, because you know that you're going to have to score at least 30 points to win this game, at least in the neighborhood. You're playing for a 3 spot. There's a suddenness in football. This is what winners do. This is what dogs do. Wow, bang, we just snapped the field in half. Let's throw it to the end zone. Instead, up the middle, 1 yard, up the middle, 1 yard, field goal miss. Basically walk the plank and surrender any chance to win. God, I'm going to say this once because I don't want to have to say this over and over, but I have to, and I know that you feel this way too. This is not personal, man. It is no fun getting on the job, on the air, talking about jobs. Nobody wants to do this, but this is the reality of what we do because you're not idiots, and you know what you're seeing, and we know that you know what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is a franchise that is dead. that can only be resuscitated by change.
Play calling, horrific. The defensive effort, horrific. But yet, everybody wants to tell me how the Giants last year, like, that was the Giants' narrative. Well, we love the draft from Joe Shane. And my counter last year, and by the way, we don't have to yell and scream. Like, I could sit back and say nothing today and just say they're 2-7 for the third straight year. Like, what more do you need me to say? You watch the game, they just got their ass kicked by a depleted 49ers team. It looked like the old Giants. And the excuse is no longer, well, we need a quarterback. Well, we need a quarterback. No, you have a quarterback. You have a quarterback that's very good, and you're actually scoring points. So what's the excuse? You have talent on defense that I was told the Giants drafted well, and then they went out there in free agency and complimented
they crushed it.
So then why, BT, do they continue to lose football games? Why are they 2-7 again? Why can't they stop the run? Why statistically are they one of the worst defenses consistently? It's not just scheme. Scheme may not be great, but whatever. Some of the scheme, some of the play calling, not good. It's also the players. It's also the players' effort. It's everything. You can't sit here with a straight face and tell me that you don't think the Giants could do better than Brian Dable. And at the end of the day, Shane and Dable have gotten a fair shake.
Yeah.
They've gotten 4 seasons, multiple coordinators, multiple quarterbacks. Like, what more do you need to say? They stink! Good God. They can spin it any way they want. Oh, we drafted well. Oh, the new scheme. Oh, no. We need some time. Oh, no, we're hurt. You stink. 2-7's hard to do 3 straight years. I give you credit. How is that possible? To get the doors blown off by a depleted Niners team with Mac Jones as the quarterback with your big bad defense? Please. That is embarrassing. Enough. It's enough. I tried to be fair. We've had this conversation for 4 seasons with these guys. I was trying to be more than fair and back Dable as recently as this year with Jackson Dart. I believe that they were going to look different. 2-4 with Jackson Dart as the starter is unacceptable by any measurement possible. And the defense is an embarrassment with guys quitting left and right on plays. That, to me, is a coach thing. It's a player thing. It's both of them. Shane and Dable have to go.
When you can't stop the run, now, obviously, part of it's born out of scheme, and we'll let others, decipher and sift through that stuff, but you can't stop the run. There's something inherently wrong with your team. I'm talking about the guts and the desire. I know that they want to win, so I don't want to get nuts here. Of course, they want to win. Everybody wants to win.
Coaches want to win. I honestly don't think some of the players.
Well, I was going to go there. Like, there's a fine line between accepting losing and wanting to win, but then there's a third aspect, and that's being incredibly resistant to losing. You know what I mean? Like, I think every pro athlete would like to win. They don't want to go out there and lose and have get mocked on social media. But the effort to prevent that from happening is simply not there. So when we're at this point, there's no other recourse. I don't see although I'm sure we'll get some outliers, a single solitary figure that I can listen to today that's going to convince me that what was just said on this show is out of bounds or factually incorrect or unfair. They are weak. They are disengaged. They are poorly built. They are broken, and they are busted. And the worst part about that, really in a lot of ways the best part, because now there's nothing nebulous about this, to see those uniforms yesterday, to see the logo, to see the end zone, which looks so glorious. A stark reminder about what the Giants used to be until you watch them actually play football.
BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Bradley is in Morganville starting us off. What's up, Bradley?
BT and Sal, how's it going, guys? Good morning.
Good.
Hey, I was at the game yesterday with my father, and, wanted to go legacy game and all that, and I'm officially declaring today, and I've been as big of a Dable supporter as I could. I'm completely switching tune. You guys are 1,000% correct. I'm done. I'm done with him. I'm done with Shane. And the people who are clamoring that, get rid of Dable, keep Shane, no. They both have to go. Because Slayton yesterday, you dropped the ball. You're paying the guy $36 million. I feel like a total idiot, too, because I vouched for this guy that he was going to step up when Malik Neighbors went down with the ACL back against us, the Chargers.
He stinks. Slayton stinks.
He stinks. Yeah. Totally stinks. And, and here's the other thing, too. You make that catch. I mean, they're not going to come back from the game. The game was pretty much over at that point. But you make that catch. Jackson Dart's not taking that last shot on his non-throwing arm. I mean, it's completely avoidable. You're off the field. That's probably the last time Jackson Dart's going to be on the field anyway yesterday. Like, you're off the field, and you have to worry about getting hurt for the rest of the game. And he takes an unwarranted shot on his left shoulder, like towards the end of that game. It's just it's unwarranted. The guy's going to get hurt. I'm worried he's going to get hurt before the season's over.
Oh, God.
That's the next thing to come.
Hope not. Gee, but thank you for the call, Bradley. Here's the other thing, too. I mean, think about And we talked about this coming to the season that, basically Dart, whenever he gets out there, is going to have to save Brian Dable's job here. So Brian Dable, while he doesn't have a good record, is no dummy. He understands this as well. So what do you think? I mean, without Malik Neighbors and without any real guys that are going to win very often in any individual matchups here, what are you going to do to try to save your job these last couple of months? You're gonna Jackson Dart's going to go out there and try to make plays. And you respect that out of Dart because he is a gamer and he hates losing. And eventually that is going to elevate this franchise when they clean house here. But he is going to be run into the ground. Do we think if the Giants are down, I'm just throwing out a score, 24-10, and there's 27-10, and there's 5 minutes left to go in next week or the week after that, do you think that Dable's going to pull Dart? The answer is no.
And I don't think he should either. We could have that conversation.
Yeah, we could have. I guess
happened last night with Washington. With
I know
Daniels.
That's 35-7. Yeah. That's even more egregious for sure.
And he's been hurt all year long.
He's been banged up too. But my point being is that Quinn's not coaching for his job. Dable is. So there's a desperation, and really he's the only one, Dart, that could save us behind, at least in the eyes of some. Not for us anymore. We're past that. And when you have that at your disposal, you probably run him into the ground out of self-preservation, and that's incredibly dangerous. You can't have it.
Remember, too, first of all, I would not want Dart to get ruined, and you could already start to see it now. Not that he's going to be ruined as a player, but this is what happens. You get caught up in a losing culture and a fan base that is not happy and a fan base that's half there. And I'm not blaming the fan base. I'm just saying the reality of it. To a point where Dart in the postgame is talking about, man, I've never seen anything like that, a home game where you're outnumbered. Now, you could see also the energy from Dart from where it was week 1 of him being a starter to where it is now. And the longer that the losing continues, the louder the noise gets. Like, now you risk putting him in a tougher spot and potentially ruining him, which is something that the vicious Giants cycle, and Jets, but we're talking about the Giants here, has done for years. It's got to stop. This can't continue any longer because now you run the risk of losing another guy. And now, by the way, even if you don't, let's say they do fire Shane and Dable and clean house completely and you get a new regime in, now it's essentially year 1 again. Okay, yeah, you have some experience in the NFL, but a new system, a different philosophy, different energy in the building. Like, you're starting all over again. So I'm not saying that would be the worst thing because at this particular point, that would be the best thing. But the Giants continue to screw this thing up, even letting this regime make that pick and hang on for another year, which wasted everybody's time.
But I'd rather have this situation than the opposite. I mean, I'd rather have a good situation, but of two potential bad situations, I'd rather have the quarterback and a coach that I don't believe in rather than the coach that I believe in and not the quarterback. So, that's why when I bring up the Bears situation and when I bring up the Patriots situation with Vrabel, now Drake May is obviously, he's a stud. But this is salvageable. And this isn't even really the day, I guess, to have that salvageable conversation because there's more football to go here. But I believe, like, if you get the right coach, I remember throwing out Lane Kiffin's name about a month or so ago to you, who coached him at Ole Miss. It's not... As much as it seems permanent and fatal and forever, it's not. But it could be that way if they don't realize that they must make changes. Mara has to know that.
Clem is in Ronkonkoma. What's up, Clem?
Hey, bud.
Yeah, it's actually Rockland County, but no worries.
He does that again. Clem in Rockland. We know you, Clem. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I got you. No, so listen, man, and I'm going to preface this. I'm a Cowboy fan, so I'm a little biased, but I'm not calling Brian Dable dumb, but dumb Dable. If people still think he's the answer to lead the Giants, they got to be dumb and blind. The guy left Buffalo. Josh Allen got better. That's proven. Daniel Jones left New York. He got better. Under better circumstances with the Colts. I'm not saying, the team is obviously better O-line. But I really believe Dable has pulled the blinds over all these Giants fans' eyes for the last few years. It's been beautiful watching him lead the Giants down this failed road again. And if they want to do anything, they need to change the coach immediately because they have some young studs, and it changed the GM also, man. He stinks. Giants stink forever. Cowboys. All right, I love you guys, man.
Well, there you go, Clem. I didn't really want to hear from a Cowboy fan there. They get their own issues here. But we get the point. And, I don't think that Dable is the reason why, Dable leaving made Josh Allen better. That's ridiculous. Also, how Daniel Jones looked yesterday. All of a sudden, Daniel Jones on the road against a tough team in Pittsburgh, even though the defense isn't very good, starting to look like Daniel Jones a little bit. So, now, the success that he had immediately still does, to me, speak to Dable not being able to maximize what Jones could do, or Shane not being able to put the right pieces around Daniel Jones to have enough success. Bottom line is, look at the record. Look at his record as a head coach. Like, I still think Dable could be a good football coach. I don't believe he could be a good head football coach. It's been one thing after another. By the way, can they get a kicker? Like, is that too much to ask, BT? It's year 4. It's year 4. They can't stop the run. They don't score enough consistently. The play calling is ridiculously conservative. They don't do anything well. The special teams is abysmal. Even at kickoffs, I mean, you get in the Niners field position starting at the 40 every time. Like, come on, dude. It's a mess. Coughing up games that they shouldn't be losing to. The whole thing in total for 4 years, nowhere near good enough. It's over.
You know when you type in an address and you have different options, different routes?
Yeah.
Well, there's the route that we just went through, right, which we have to because we have to be buttoned up and obviously hit everything for you guys. And, of course, we'll pound the phones all day about this giant misery. And then there's the route of the 3 that's presented to you on your phone. That's the shortest one. And here's the shortest route. Rather than talking about all the things they don't do well, what do they do well? What do the Giants do well? I don't know what they do well. They don't stop the run. They don't stop. They don't have a quarter. They don't have a top quarter. So when it's time to get thrown against, they get thrown against. They don't seem to really run the ball very well, certainly without Cam Scattaboo. I don't know what they do. It's like, okay, well, thank God, if they didn't have Dart.
Correct.
If they didn't have Jackson Dart, this team would look more like an expansion team. More like you wouldn't even have broken plays that give you inspiration. You would have basically nothing. So that's where we're at. Yeah. We are at basically the end of the road, and it's brutal. It's absolutely awful.
Don't draft well. Don't develop well. Don't coach well.
Don't motivate incredibly well.
Don't win.
Don't scheme well.
Yeah.
You know, and I say that again, staying in our lane here, but think about what happened with Dallas. Think about what happened with Denver when you only rushed 3, and obviously that's basic stuff. So this is a world of hurt on the Giants, and it is up to them. It's up to Mr. Mara, and trust me, I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know. He's got to sort through this, and it is a painful process, and there are contracts and real-life things that he's got to go through, and we respect that. But this slop, it's unacceptable. This is the New York Giants. This is not the New York Jets. This is the Giants. And look at where they're at. My God. All right, 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal on the Fan on the glorious Football Monday, Sal. Hey, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They built MetLife Stadium. Hey! And the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
Home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN. The Cardinals meet up with the Cowboys. 8:15 tonight on AM 660.
Right down the middle and good.
Monday Night Football is on the Fan. 101.9 FM and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Introducing the IHOP Value Menu, where all your breakfast faves are just $6 each every day. Where else can you get a big, filling, sit-down breakfast for only $6? Go to your happy plates with the $6 IHOP Value Menu. Available every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. It's not easy being an accident victim these days. I mean, how do you choose the right lawyer? The radio, TV, buses, and billboards are filled with law firms making the same old promises, bragging about the same big results. They talk about their proven track record and hope they'll get you to sign on the dotted line. But then what? If a lawyer tells you from day one what your case is worth, please turn around and run. If a lawyer tells you how quickly they'll get your case settled, I beg you, turn around and run. The right lawyer is not a fortune teller. The right lawyer is honest, straightforward, and knows every case is different. He or she will have the experience to get you every dollar you deserve at the right time. So if you want to know your rights and you want to be told the truth, call D'Agostino & Associates today at 888-24-LAW-24. That's 888-24-LAW-24 and ask for me, John D'Agostino, because I've been there and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
New York City is delivering for you. With public housing and subway incidents, hate crimes, retail theft, and overall major crime down this year, and shootings year to date at their lowest levels in recorded history, and over 135,000 unlawful guns and vehicles off our streets means more secure neighborhoods, day and night. That's NYC delivering for families, every day, everywhere. Find out more at deliveringforyou.nyc.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown! That's a Jet touchdown!
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Monday morning again as it pertains to New York Giants football. Far too often we've said this. I thought it was going to be different, BT, with Dart taking over, that the Giants were back. I thought this was a very winnable game. Not even that they lost the game, which obviously it's going to be about wins, losses at this particular point. They got their clocks cleaned. After the opening drive, which felt great, they got their clocks cleaned, so that's a big disappointment here. We'll get back to the calls. But keep in mind, there are different types of firings or cleaning house. We wanted the Giants to do it after last year. Okay, maybe that would have been a bit early. I think Mr. Mara handled this one perfectly, meaning that, okay, whether we would have done it differently or not, he at least gave them an extra year. Remember, the Giants have been through this with all the turnover and they want some stability and sticking with it. So he just waited, like a hamstring injury, right? That's how we used to say, like, when I was dating my wife before I got engaged, I would say, like, you got to treat it like a hamstring injury. When you think you're ready to get engaged, just wait a few more weeks, maybe a few more months, and then get back out there. So Mara may have had the inclination to say, these aren't the right guys, or Dable's not the right guy, but let me give him one more year and just see definitively. Let's see what they could do with their quarterback. And they did that, and it's still 2-7. So they waited the proper amount of time, 4 years. Nobody can question, well, it's not enough to evaluate a general manager. Well, it's not enough to evaluate a head coach. Well, they didn't get their own quarterback. They had everything to work with in 4 years, and their record absolutely sucks. That, to me, is a justifiable moving on. This is not a dysfunctional organization thing. It's the right time. They gave them everything they could to work with. They need to move on.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the optics of this really make it worse. So there's just certain things you can't ignore as an owner. That's why, you reference the planes overhead and 45 or 50,000, whatever the number was, 49er fans basically taking over the house, or just the shoddy tackling, which is obviously, I think that's the worst look. When you look at just any sports team, right? Whether it's basketball and then you just don't get back on defense, or maybe bullpens in baseball imploding, when a team just doesn't tackle well and just doesn't stop the run, even if they're poorly built, which is a different issue, which is also applicable here, it just seems like there's a lack of want. And when there's a lack of want in a sport like football, you're almost surrendering, even though I know that they're still gladiators and they're not trying to get pushed around. I do get that. But I think from John Mara's point of view here, I think he really was aware, Sal, of the lack of stability. And I think he was very turned off by that because, we didn't want them to look like the Jets, but they do. They do. And I think that, I wouldn't have run it back last year. I'm on the record with that. And I'm okay with him giving it a shot. But now the results are in, the test has been taken, and it's an absolute failure.
Yeah, it's over. It's time to move on. You talk about the want to, and I'm not trying to pick apart individuals, and I'm not breaking down the all 22. I don't care to. Here's what I care to. The record. Show me the record. I don't want to hear, but did you see the double teams? Did you see the stunts? I don't care. I care about the record. 3 straight years, 2-7. Figure it out. Fix it. Everybody's going to get fired because that hasn't been good enough. But there was a play specifically for me that I noticed. I was trying to watch a little more Dexter Lawrence yesterday in real time. Again, I'm not going back watching it. I'm watching the game. And as a matter of fact, I'm watching 4 games at once because the Giants haven't earned the right to be a big screen game. So you're part of the quadrant with the sound on. But the play...
We're the Jets.
The Rabbit ears? Yeah, barely. There was a play at the end of the first quarter where I felt Dexter Lawrence quit on the play.
Okay.
He was getting double teamed, and he was pursuing the ball carrier. I think it was Robinson running the football, but he was right there within grasp of at least getting an arm on him, and he didn't do it. And that to me was one play. Okay, and then the Deontay Banks stuff, and this goes back.
My God.
This goes back years with Deontay Banks. So now, do you think, let's say Bill Belichick or whatever, like pick a good Vrabel? I mean, Vrabel's benching guys for stuff in New England. You think that's an accident? That Vrabel comes in, cleans up Gerard Mayo's mess, and is holding guys accountable, and all of a sudden the Patriots, one of the best teams in football, with similar roster? I mean, it's not an accident. So how could Deontay Banks, A, be drafted, then B, when he is drafted, look like a good player, C, regress completely where last year was a disaster and giving up on plays then, to D, giving up on play? Like, how could that be allowed to happen?
That's a confounding one. I don't have a direct answer for you, but I would say that that's even more alarming than just drafting a guy who's not good and you realizing very quickly that you drafted the wrong guy. Like, to me, player regression is a worse reflection on a coaching staff. Like, because Banks did pop early. Now, you liked him more than me.
The first year I liked him.
Yeah, you did. And there was evidence and there was reason to like him a little bit. Not that you went overboard, but you're like, this kid's a player. And I didn't disagree. I think you pointed it out first. And when you kind of see that, and then... now there's just like a lack of effort. Now that's, or again, a regression. Yeah. Now I've got to look, I got to lift up the hood and what's going on in the building? What's going on in the meetings? What's going on in the practice field? What's the messaging here? I don't know. But it's evidently not the right one. So, we can try to adjust the lens and try to make this thing look clear. I don't need to. It's as clear as it gets. And the Giants are an absolute mess.
And it just shouldn't be accepted though. In Banks' case, BT, it's on it's on clear display for multiple years. That can't be accepted. And I'll give you an example like Drew Phillips. I love Drew Phillips as a player. I don't think he's very good in coverage, but I think Drew Phillips has the want to. He's a fiery physical player, better up in the box against the run, all those different things. Now, again, will we see regression beyond this? Who knows? But sometimes he'll get beat on a play that maybe he's playing out of position or he's just not good enough in that particular thing that the Giants are asking him to do. That's different than not having the effort like maybe Deonte Banks or Dexter Lawrence. And that, to me, is unacceptable. And you're right. I think that's an indictment on the coaching staff.
This is
talking about lack of effort.
I'm sorry, Sal. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's brutal. I mean, the fans. I just don't know how there's a Giant fan, and we're going to take these calls. Hopefully, there's one. I'd like to have the conversation. How do you believe in anything moving forward with this team right now?
Mike is in Oceanside. What's up, Mike?
Except the quarterback. Hey, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
Just give me a second because I want to scream just like Sal does right now, but I can't because I have no voice for my kids' games this weekend. Talk about I totally wanted to get in touch with you guys for like the past 2 weeks, defending Dable. I would be an idiot if I defended Dable today. I think he is absolutely done. I think he looks lost. I just want to ask you guys a question, and I think you guys will both have the same answer. Who's the best player on San Francisco?
C-Mac.
Okay. How does he walk into the end zone untouched
on
that touchdown?
I don't know. It's a great question.
The Giants didn't have anybody covering him. How do you not have somebody covering him multiple times? Multiple times. They're talking about, C-Mac running free. How do you not have him? You should have him doubled, let alone not covered.
Wait. And then when they almost killed Jackson Dart, Andrew Thomas, yes, he had a great season, but he quit on that play if you watch it. His guy came back around and blindsided Dart. Do you know the play I'm talking about?
Yeah. But you're focusing on Dable. Today, for us, it's all-encompassing. It's Shane as well. The whole thing.
And it's Shane, and it's the coordinators.
Oh, that's a given.
The defensive coordinator, Bowen, is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. You can get a peewee guy to run a better defensive scheme than this guy. He's awful.
They have, and thanks for the call, Mike, they have players on defense. It's in part why I thought that we would see a turnaround at some point, especially when you're talking about going up against Mac Jones, like at home. Mac Jones is a sitting duck quarterback. He's not going to be a guy that's going to beat you with his legs. If the Giants and Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns can't get to him, like they finally made the play at the end of the half. I've been waiting all afternoon. Can you make a play? Goodness gracious, they're gashing you left and right. You couldn't stop the 49ers. You finally make one play. With those guys on defense, they should be making plays more regularly, BT. And it's one thing if you don't do it against the better teams, okay, fair enough. One thing if you don't do it consistently every week, okay, fair enough. It's not good. But to not do it against the Niners at home after you go up 7-0, for years it was, the Giants defense doesn't have a lead to play with. They go up 7-0, and what happens?
Yeah, well, think about this. How many times where, in Eli's prime, let's say somebody does that similar play where, you strip sack, it's up in the air, you get the pick, even though it's a fumble, whatever, and the Giants punch in 7. And even if they don't, I'm not, to me, it's not as egregious that they didn't score a touchdown. It's the fact that they didn't even seem motivated to remotely try to score a touchdown. So now it's a mindset. Like, my God, could you imagine Coughlin and that crew, those champions? Off tackle up the middle, 1 yard. All right, let's throw a token pass, let's hit a field goal, and then not even hit it. Like, there's no way. You go for the end zone, man. So they are just, God, I'm running out of words to describe how pathetic this franchise has become.
Ralph is calling from Franklin Square. What's up, Ralph?
Hey, guys, I'm like you. I wanted Dable gone last year, but, obviously he's here. But clearly, this coaching regime is like The Walking Dead now. It's obviously time for him to go. But I do have a question. I know you said that maybe now is not the time to talk about what's salvageable, but it is the trading deadline. So I got to wonder who you guys think is untradeable. Who's on this team that's at least worth investing in for the next few years, besides Dart, obviously? Is there anyone else? Maybe Andrew Thomas? Who do you think?
Definitely Thomas. Obviously, you want to keep Burns. You're not going to trade Carter. You just got him. Neighbors is hurt. Listen, I think that name that would probably generate the most debate, but also maybe interest would be Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau. And I'm not going to give him big money. I'm just not. I'm not.
I would, if it were me. Now, this is maybe a deeper conversation that we get to have at some point throughout the course of the year or even throughout the course of the show. My biggest fear now is not that they're going to keep Brian Dable on the coaching staff. I think that's there's no way they could justify that. I'm concerned that they might keep Joe Shane and let him pick another head coach. I would have it to talk about the trade deadline. If I'm ownership, I would have an edict. You're not making any moves here. Period. End of story. No moves. I don't want another receiver for Jackson Dart. I don't want this regime touching anything any longer. That's just me. Now, if you want to fire Shane and then have somebody that you trust take over for now and say just get picks back for players, maybe that's an.
I don't even like that because unless that's going to be the GM, it still might not be the same philosophy of the person you bring in.
I'm putting a freeze
just
on
lay out.
Put a freeze on everything.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, unless it was something like wildly over the top, reckless by some team out of like one Super Bowl Hail Mary, like we need that Kayvon Thibodeau's that player necessarily put them over the edge. I'm not trying to shade him; he's good. He's just not what I thought he would be.
Well, if somebody blew you away for Dexter Lawrence, you do it too.
Oh, Dexter Lawrence! I would actively look to trade him.
The problem with that is that if you get the right head coach. Whoever, Bill Belichick, Mike McCarthy, I'm getting texts about these names already, like the Giant fans.
Yeah.
Well, if you get the right head coach, whoever that may be, could be Lane Kiffin, I don't know, they're going to see Dexter Lawrence and say, this guy's staying here. He's too good and the potential's too good. I'm going to get him to light the fire under his. I'll take care of him.
Yeah, I hear you. He's somebody that would worry me. I just based on, he's been around a little bit here. There's been some wild fluctuations in his performance. I don't love the motivation. Yeah. That's my read from a distance, with all due respect. I don't see the snap-to-snap engagement. Yeah, now listen now. Can somebody like a Belichick or somebody of that ilk maybe re-inspire him? Yeah. But to me, when you go up and down and up and down and up and down, you're eventually, even if it is a Belichick type, you're only a losing streak away from disengaging again. So to me, I would... I'm not looking to give him away. If I could rid myself of Dexter Lawrence, I would.
Here's the thing, though. At the very least, you may get a Belichick type or somebody else coming in saying, okay, you know what, I worry about his motor or his motivation, and then they can move him. I would want, though, whoever the next people are, I want them to come in and assess what's here.
Yeah.
Okay, what can you make of this? There was some thought that some of them had potential, whatever. So then you would say, okay, well, let the new people that have a clue of what they're doing identify what they can work with, what they don't want to work with, have them do it before somebody else, now that's a dead man walking in Joe Shane or Brian Dable, make decisions on this roster that they're going to have nothing to do with in a couple of months.
Yeah, and it's, if you just tune it in here, guys, it's no longer about just beating the drum on Dable. It's obviously about Shane. And, things need to change. 888-808-1019. It's BT and Sal here on The Fan.
Sports Talk on The Fan. BT is presented by Paramount Plus, streaming November 16th on Paramount Plus. It's the return of Landman from Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone. Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton is back, featuring Academy Award nominees Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, and Sam Elliott. Demi Moore, oh yeah. Landman, new season streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
She like 70?
Yeah,
Still looks good? No, I mean, you still look 70, that's
movie,
for sure.
I forget the name of the movie that I saw recently, last year but she looked great in that movie.
She's always looked good.
We talked about that, yeah.
She was at an award ceremony somewhere. I remember seeing her up on stage. I'm like, wow, she looks like she's 40. Anyway, today was a sad day, Sal. I got a text from the wife. They picked up the Cadillac.
They came already?
They picked up the Cadillac Escalade IQ. But as sad as it was also very inspiring because I got to get my behind back in one of those long-term. It is absolutely phenomenal. Talk about almost a month joyride. They sent me one, and obviously they sent Sal a Cadillac as well. Now, I'm back in my XT6, which I've had for a while, and I love my XT6. Not quite the Escalade, but it's phenomenal. Anyway, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. My first time at an all-electric ride, and I'll tell you what, I was a little worried about that. How do you do it? How do you charge it up? Is it a headache? No, not at all. Absolutely phenomenal. So you get great range. I remember when I juiced that thing up at Target for the first time, it said 490 miles, which is unreal. So that's one aspect, and obviously the performance is a massive key. And it's also not a bad way to make an entrance. When you pull up, somebody's going to say, wow, look at that ride. So whatever the reason is, Sal, it's always a good time to say, let's take that Cadillac.
Yeah, it was depressing today. I had to leave the Cadillac at home and go to the gas station on the way into work today. Fill up on gas, something I haven't had to do. Matter of fact, I told my wife, because she finally got a chance to ride in it over the weekend. We're going out for dinner Saturday night. Hey, let's take the Cadillac, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. You got the Escalade IQ, that's the one you had, BT, the Vistic, the Optic, that's what I was driving, the Optic, and the Lyric I had a chance to drive last year. I love them all, smooth ride, and I do love the electric part of it now. Just plug it into your wall and you're good to go. Visit our Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. This Odyssey Sports Minute brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Look out for pedestrians. Safety is a shared responsibility.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Arizona travels to Dallas tonight to wrap up the first half of this NFL season. Jacoby Brissett is expected to start for the injured Kyler Murray, who the Cardinals say may play some role, although Brissett has been better than Murray. Meantime, Dak Prescott and company seek to rebound from last week's humiliating 44-24 loss to Denver. I do like the Cowboys tonight, 31-27. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Sarah at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
I've always dreamed of a beautiful kitchen, but my wife just wants to stay organized.
You know what they say about opposites?
That they can't agree on a kitchen?
Well, IKEA kitchens come in many styles with a variety of customizable organizers. So maybe you're not opposites at all.
Beautiful and organized. Now we just have to figure out what to eat.
That's a different department. Get the kitchen of your dreams at a price you didn't dream possible at IKEA.US/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
Hey, Tiki here. Imagine a world where all your smart devices work together seamlessly in one simple ecosystem. Introducing the Sloman's Shield Link. With Sloman's Shield Link, transform your home into a truly intelligent smart home experience. Control your lights, heating and cooling, door locks, cameras, TVs, just about anything in your home. Life is busy and daily stresses add up. But with Sloman's Shield Link, your home tech works in harmony, making life more convenient, safe, and enjoyable. Now imagine pulling into your driveway, and with one tap, your home welcomes you. Lights on, doors unlocked, only to hear your favorite music. A true smart home isn't just about gadgets. It's about comfort and security. With Sloman's Shield, enjoy a full integration of home security and automation, all at your fingertips. Make your life easier and your home a safer haven. Learn more at SlomanShieldLink.com or call 1-800-ALARM-ME. Embrace the future of home living with Sloman's Shield Link.
At Town Fair Tire, New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, you get it all. The guaranteed lowest price, the most free services, and we accept all valid rebates from any manufacturer and from our competition. Yes, we accept them all, even competitor rebates. Town Fair Tire, New England's largest discount tire dealer, now with over 120 stores from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable, it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Is the number to call. I just can't take it anymore. It's so frustrating, BT. This is the first actually Giants game that I got wrong, and of course I put money on it. I had the Bills yesterday, Steelers yesterday, and Giants, and I hit everything else. The Giants was the one game, and really they had no chance. Outside of the opening drive, after that, I don't care that they came back. Like, they couldn't stop them. But it's immensely frustrating when we thought that, and whether I was higher on the Giants than you were the rest of the way here, but we all thought that the Giants were back to being a at least competent, competitive football team once Jackson Dart took over, beating the Chargers. Okay, even with the loss with the Saints, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Beat the Eagles. Okay, here we go. Should have beaten the Broncos. And then it's just regression from there. Ass kicked by the Eagles. Okay, it happens. Ass kicked at home to the Niners. That can't happen. Who knows the rest of the way? To me, who cares? I don't care. I literally don't care if they go 8-0. It is not enough to take a chance on Shane and Dable again. Now, they're not going to go 8-0. We know that. But even if they were to finish that strong, or 7-1, whatever, enough. Dude, it's enough. There's nothing left to see for me with Joe Shane or Brian Dable. And I just hope that ownership is there, because my fear is that they keep Shane and let Dable go.
I don't see that at this point. I don't. Now, could a couple of wins change that? Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's possible here, but I think it's going to be really ugly. I remember saying to you middle of last week, I think there's a chance that the Jets wind up with more wins than the Giants.
Yeah.
I really believe that. So I think when you start hearing quotes...
God, that would be awful.
I know.
There's no excuse for that.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be. No, not when you have a 2-game lead and you're showing, before the Jets won one, and obviously, whatever. It's not about the Jets. It's about the Giants here, but that's just to kind of illuminate where I'm at with these Giants, and even going into the Niners game, I didn't think that they would look very, very good. I just think that the quotes now that you're starting to hear from certain players, it is a very ominous sign. And you start getting to this point, and you're 2-7, and very likely going to be 2-8 and 3-11 or whatever. And the scoreboard looks less and less competitive. Guys start packing up, and they mentally check out. And I actually think more so, will they be back next year? I think the more direct question will be, will they finish the year? Will Dable get to finish the year? I think that's now in play, because I think this is going to go sideways emotionally. I think that yesterday just sounded ugly from the players. It looked ugly. And I thought Dable himself almost seemed, sadly, resigned to his fate. Didn't offer much punch back, and almost like he knows it's over.
He's got to know it. There's nothing like he went.
But you still can't show it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I know he knows. He's not a dummy. He knows it. But I think he projected it yesterday.
At least with Dable, he wants it. You could tell he wants it. And he desperately wants it now even more, because he believes in Jackson Dart, and he believes that he could have something here. The problem is he knows his fate, where I can't look at the players and say that all of them to a man want it. You look at the way that some of them played.
Banks checking out of a tackle. Obviously, Lawrence, we touched on before.
Look at the way that they are answering the questions in the postgame. I don't, outside of Burns, and I'm not saying that he's the only one, but he's the one that I saw even last week, or in Denver, the frustration that he has. He's angry, ticked off. To me, that's how you should be. Embarrassed. And the other guys are just like Dexter Lawrence, I'm good. I don't really want to play anywhere else. I'm good. And doesn't look like he's mad or embarrassed. Where's the anger? Where's the frustration from some of these guys?
I'll tell you what the answer is. They're used to it. When you get used to losing, that's what it sounds like, guys. When you get used to losing.
3 straight years, 2-7, BT, to start the year.
Yep. The resistance begins to fade. And it's almost a level of acceptance of your fate. And this is what it sounds like. And this is what it looks like.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Charles is in Lincroft. What's up, Charles?
Hey, bud.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
How are you, Charles?
Good.
I'm good. I mean, I've been on hold for a little bit now, and you guys have kind of, touched all the bases, is what I was about to say. I mean, it's not, rocket science. They got to go, these two guys. You look at, and what you were saying, BT, before, I couldn't agree with you more. About people are trying to tell me, if Brian Dable goes, it's going to ruin Jackson Dart, or these guys need to be together. That's such a bad take for the people that are out there saying that. If Jackson Dart is good, he'll be good. As you brought up, BT, you've seen the examples with other head coaches throughout the league.
Yep.
This guy's a terrible head coach. Get him out. Why is Deontay Banks on this football team? Why is Darius Slayton employed?
Because Joe Shane drafted one and signed the other. I mean, that's why. So Joe Shane, too.
How about that? Yeah, and then let's get to Shane for a second before you guys hang up on me. Why? Some of the stuff this guy does is just undefendable, man. That Bronco game, he should have been fired after that game. Why am I watching Graham Gano miss field goals still? Why? Why do they not have a kicker, Sal? There's so many things that you can point to, and yes, you said it's year 4, and they're 2-7 again, and this team sucks again. I've never seen such a long leash before for people that just have sucked and sucked and sucked. You guys come to do a radio show every day. That's why you're at WFAN. What does Shane Bowen do at the New York Giants? What does Deontay Banks do? I don't know. What are they doing?
Well,
get out. I'm sick of...
Sorry, go ahead, Charles.
I'm just sick of watching this garbage every Sunday. So I turned on Red Zone in the third quarter yesterday. I can't watch this anymore.
There you go.
I'm done.
Watch some real football.
I'm done.
There was some crazy, and thanks for the call, Charles. There was some crazy action. We'll get to the NFL around the league a little bit and coming up after we break here. But, yeah, I mean, as much, you could be as positive as you want in the Giants, and I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt time after time again. I'd like to hear anybody in that building defend not only some of the moves, and you could, the people in the building were saying last year Shane had a great draft. And my counter was, well, then how come they haven't won games? Because usually good football players add up to wins. Somebody's got to be responsible. Okay, educate me. I'm just a loudmouth, know-nothing fan. Then tell me how you could have great drafts, great signings, a great quarterback, and still suck week after week with the losses. Tell me how that's possible. And to the caller's point, BT, it's not 1 year. It's now 3 straight years of regression. That's it. It's over. We don't need to continue to beat the dead horse. That should be it. And the question I do have hesitation saying that they're going to fire both. They better. I think that they should. I'm still not 100% sure that that's going to be the case. But once they do, then it could be about, okay, well, now what? Who's next to maximize what Jackson Dart did?
There was a point where I thought that was possible, and I guess I still do. And really, more specifically, there was a point where I was willing to have that conversation where, all right, you got to move on from the head coach. I think most of us kind of felt that, but maybe there's some evidence. Keep the general manager. I'm not looking to have that conversation anymore. With all due respect, you have to start over.
Yeah, 4 years.
You have to.
It's more than enough. WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
Can't diminish what they did against Philadelphia or what they did a few weeks earlier against the Chargers. So which Giant defense shows up on Sunday?
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
What you want, what you want.
FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who's going to win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. Get in on the act with a 30% profit boost token this Monday. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/BT to jump in on the fun with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. It's simple to use, easy to navigate, and when you win, you get paid right away. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
My man, Dr. Jay Shah, specializing in minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments for neck, back, and sciatica, migraines, and so much more, offers pain-relieving solutions. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Samwell Pain for all their aches and pains. Visit SamwellPain.com.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Well, think again. Bring in your AT&T and T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Ever seen an origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Jokes aside, Verizon has the most ways to save with phone deals, streaming, and plans where everybody in the family can choose their own plan and save. So, bring your bill to your local Verizon store and they'll give you a better deal.
Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station. WFAN Sports Flash.
We're brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results. Visit chefiq.com. Niners beating the Giants on Sunday, moving New York to 2-7 through 9 weeks. For head coach Brian Dable, that's 3 years in a row of this record. He knows not good enough.
We got to continue to improve here. Again, there's some things that I think are improving, and there's some things that are not. To be 2-7. Look, we're not where we need to be.
Next up for the Giants, a road game in Chicago. The Sunday night game was interesting because not only did the Seahawks beat the Commanders 38-14, Sam Darnold was almost perfect on the night, and Washington lost Jaden Daniels to an injury. Reports say dislocated elbow. That came in the fourth quarter. Cowboys and Cardinals wrap up the week on Westwood One's coverage of Monday Night Football right here on The Fan. The Eagles acquiring Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins for a 2026 third-round draft pick. The Knicks are home for Washington tonight, looking for back-to-back wins. New York
beating Chicago Sunday evening 128-116. That's just looking for a win. They're 0-6, lost to the Sixers Sunday. Brooklyn home for Minnesota this evening. The Islanders beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. Ducks over the Devils 4-1. And college basketball is here. Ready or not, St. John's takes on Quinnipiac. Seton Hall plays St. Peter's. UConn facing New Haven. This report brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager in present New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Also brought to you by Dr. J. Shaw at Samuel Payne Management. Visit samuelpayne.com. Current temperature brought to you by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. It's 58 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Before we go around the league a little bit, and it was a wild day.
Yeah.
Think about this. I just saw Pat Leonard, our pal Pat Leonard of the Daily News, tweet this. And again, not that we didn't know this, but it's just when you see it all laid out like this. The Giants obviously 2-7 this season. 3-18 in their last 21, 5-21 in their last 26, 5-17-1 in the NFC East. This is under Shane and Dable. 2-14 against the Eagles and the Cowboys, and 20-39-1 in 4 regular seasons. Like, that is.
I mean, the patience of ownership really should be commended.
That's why I say 4 years is. I'm not knocking them. I think they waited. If anything, you waited the extra year just to find out, and they even got to see it through with a rookie quarterback. Just because you could find a quarterback that has potential and can have some success, it doesn't mean that's justifying keeping both these two after all those records that I just put out there. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then you watch these other teams around the NFL who have been down for a little bit, and they don't need all these years to get it going.
Right.
I mean, they just don't. And there's plenty of evidence that, you know, the reclamation projects around the league are very easy to identify. And after year one with Brian Dable and, you know, the reemergence, if you will, of Daniel Jones and obviously Saquon beasting and the Giants winning a road playoff game, you know, that's why, even though I didn't agree with it, and if I owned the Giants, I wouldn't have done it, but I didn't go crazy when they got the extra year.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was maybe a little conservative, but it's okay to err on the side of prudence when you've been almost, you know, just too aggressively cycling through coaches and GMs over the years. So it just hasn't worked out. And there's failure, but there's nothing to, like, you could live with that provided the expiration point is identifiable. Like, it can't continue.
Right, and we talked about this last year. Both would have moved on from Shane and Dable after last season, just not believing in them, and then said both, well, if they get to stay, it should be beyond this year because you want to see what they could do in a quarterback, with a quarterback that they selected. However, it played out in a way where it's far different than the normal scenario in your mind would have been about selecting a quarterback and then having him develop. Dart was thrown to the Wolves basically right away in week 4. He showed that he has it, which is a huge check, and they showed they still can't win. So it's actually a good thing that they went to Dart when they did, because they could easily be 2-7 right now with Russell Wilson, and now transitioning to Dart, and then we would see the final 8 games what they could do. Or later, let's say that they went to Dart later. The idea of Dart being there and that potential, to me, would have been holding out hope that something different from Shane and Dable's regime could have come of it. But now that we've seen the finished product, meaning Dart is here, he's been here for a while, and they still can't. They're 2-4 with him as a starter, and it looks like a mess. And the way that they're losing these games, now I don't need to see it beyond this year. I know what Dable and Dart can do offensively together, and I know that it's not good enough to justify keeping anybody around beyond this year.
Well, that's why my focus, and I think the focus of many, has shifted to Joe Shane here.
Yeah.
Because think about this. We said, wow, when we found out that they were going to Jackson Dart when they went to him, we all had the very simple, you know, the same answer, like, all right, you're going to fire the bullet. There's really nothing else to fire, so this better work out. If you would have told us back then that Jackson Dart was going to look like this, but yet the Giants would still just be gashed every week and giving up 30+ and no resistance against the run, like, that is the indictment on the rest of the roster. They got the favorable answer about Dart, and that's great, but it's the other stuff that is just in ruins, and that's why, you know, you got to look at Shane.
Let's get back to some calls here, BT. We'll save the NFL around the league a little bit for the next segment. Vinny is in Babylon. What's up, Vin?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Vince.
So So obviously they got to go. They all got to go. You look at Dable's face yesterday. I mean, he is so over his head, so lost. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. But, as you said earlier, they got to go. Look at the players' faces. And what scared me the most yesterday was looking at the look on Jackson Dart's face. Because for the first time, he looked like, what the hell is going on here? Right. And, Dable's got to go. They got to go because they're going to ruin Dart. Because if you beat up a young quarterback early in his career, you can ruin their careers. And that's what I'm most worried about, is that this kid, we don't need him to fade away here because he's so
not.
defeated.
He's not going to fade away. He's not going to fade away. I see, and that's a very interesting thing to talk about in the NFL. And thank you for the call, Vin. I'm not saying that it has never happened, but we kind of throw that around like, they ruined this guy. And by the way, Darnold might be evidence to that for sure. But I think generally when quarterbacks are quote unquote ruined, it's because they really weren't the right guy to begin with. I trust Dart's, and again, there are examples to the contrary. That's why I pick out Darnold. But generally, you can either play or you can't. You have the moxie or you don't, or you have the character or you don't. And I think what's happening right now to Jackson Dart is that, there's an arrogance when you are as talented as he is, and not an unchecked arrogance. I mean it in a very good way. It's a compliment. There's an arrogance coming from college saying, I can fix this. I'm going to be able to will us here and score some points and, help elevate this franchise. That is an internal belief that every great player has. And as the surroundings and the reality of the surroundings begin to become more and more obvious to Jackson Dart, you're going to see him not on the field, but project almost an understanding like, man, this is even bigger than I thought. So I don't think you have to, but I think he's tough enough to get through that. What I'm worried about is him getting hurt. I really do, because how are they going to move the ball? How are they going to try to look presentable for the next 2 months? That's going to be Dart moving and dancing and putting down his pads because he's a baller and he's a beast. And is that good for the franchise? The answer is no.
Yeah, but that's his game.
I know.
So if he gets, it's football, he's a rookie, he's got to go out there and play. I don't think that they're going to be allowed to be reckless with him. They
were reckless yesterday. His left shoulder could have been hanging by his right shoulder after that hit.
But they're playing a football game.
I know. But
so why not? How about this, BT? Why not just shut him down? The final 8 games are irrelevant. We all know Shane sucks, Dable sucks, fire the entire coaching staff. Why don't we put Jackson Dart just on the bench, have Russell Wilson go out there and save Dart so he's healthy next year?
Yeah, listen, obviously I'm not saying that. It's just, it's an unwinnable situation here because this is what I said, one of the things earlier in the show. For you to, and I'm putting myself in Dable's mindset right now. He knows the writing's on the wall, and he's a competitor, so we got to give Brian Dable that, even though it doesn't seem like it to some of you. The man wants to win, and the man has busted ass trying to win, as bad as it looks. All right, let's not be disrespectful here. So even though we know it's over for him, he's the last to know that. That's what competitors do, right? So in his mind, he's saying, how can I save my job? How can I fix the Giants? And by fixing the Giants, I'll save my own behind. Well, look at the resources. There's one that really without Scatterboo and without Neighbors, there's one that elevates itself. And that is the quarterback. And it's going to be human nature to try to ride that to the end to try to save his job. So I'm just saying, of course you don't shut him down. You don't put him in bubble wrap and not let him be a football player. It's just a very real reality. They don't have much around Dart, and he's going to be getting popped left and right the rest of the way.
The other reality may be that whoever takes over, they may not be as big of fans of Jackson Dart as Dable was. You don't. I would,
man, oh man, I'd like to meet that person.
I would not. Well, I mean, he didn't go first overall.
But that listen, you think the Titans don't want Cam Ward? It doesn't matter where you go.
BT,
it's what you do once you actually get in the NFL.
Understood.
And if there's a football person out there that might want to coach the Giants or the Giants might want to coach them that doesn't think that Jackson Dart's going to be a franchise quarterback, let's save the interview process. I don't want that guy because that guy's an idiot.
See, but now you're placating the quarterback, which I would not be doing.
No, I'm not placating anybody. I'm reacting to the evidence. You don't think Jackson Dart's going to be a star? If they put the right things around him?
I have no no idea. Nobody could say that he's not. No. You know definitively, or he is.
No, I'm not saying definitively. Yeah, but I'm just reacting to what I've seen.
Yeah. Okay, but what have we seen?
What?
He's 2-4.
Forget about the record, Sal.
I'm not going to forget about the record.
You can't forget about you have to. You got to suspend the reality of that because the record is a byproduct of the GM. The only reason they're watchable is because of the quarterback.
Understood. You've seen him for 6 games. Like, even if they were 6-0, I still would not be sold. Like, it's 6 games.
I'm not saying he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, but
it sounds like it.
No, I'm not saying that. No, you don't think that coaches would want to coach this young man?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
That's not what I said. All I said was there might not. Maybe Dable loved him more. Remember, they traded up to get him. Maybe he loved him more than another head coach coming in. I have no idea. But that is now in play when you have a new regime. I would not be hiring somebody just to, the same way they did with Daniel Jones, just to maximize what Jackson Dart can do. To me, that is foolish. Now, I like Jackson Dart. I think he's got the right mindset here. But who knows? We still got to see what could go on the final 8 games. He's also got to prove that he could improve himself. He can stop being as reckless as he is, stay healthy, get more accurate. Like, there are a lot of things here. He's a rookie quarterback that's shown some signs. And just because it's far better from what we saw from Zach Wilson or anybody else here early on in their career, Geno Smith or Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones, just because it's far better than that immediately does not mean it's a given. Also, we don't know what the new regime would want. Well, that's all that I'm saying.
Listen, I got you, and it's definitely not a given. All I'm saying is from what I've seen is I think that Jackson Dart's going to be amazing.
I know, but we thought other guys were going to be amazing, and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but not to this extent, at least not here. I mean, I never felt this way about Daniel Jones. I was hopeful about Zach and hopeful about these other guys. Like, there's legitimate evidence that this guy's an absolute franchise quarterback. So, see, this was my worry, and this has been mitigated. This is a good thing, all right? So my greatest fear about the Giants: bring back Dable, give the keys to Dart. You realize Dable's not the guy. Dart looks awful, like Zach. Say Zach, just because we'll pull some other bad quarterback names into it. How appealing would the Giants' job be moving forward, meaning in 2026 and beyond, when they invariably move on from Dable, which they're going to have to? Well, if Dart looked overwhelmed or just overdrafted or not the guy, now you got a situation like, geez, the Giants are still a train wreck and they don't even have a quarterback. At least for me, just for me, the silver lining is the Giants' job should be appealing. I don't know what coaches they'll talk to, but it should be appealing to every reputable quarterback that you would want to interview, because they, again, my opinion, they have to think that Jackson Dart has a chance to be phenomenal.
Has a chance, but would it be more appealing than having a top pick and getting to select your own guy? Having him learn in your system?
You know what? I can't answer that, only because it's subjective. Meaning, I don't know what they think about Mendoza or Dante Moore, or I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Or like Cam Ward a year ago, or Shedeur Sanders. So
or Caleb Williams, who I was told,
or any of those guys.
Can't miss. Caleb Williams going to be.
Yeah, but Caleb Williams has never looked like this.
I don't think Caleb Williams is good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Whereas Jackson Dart, to me, Jackson Dart, I mean, if he, put it this way, if he was out there and he was throwing up 50-50 balls to Malik Neighbors, and Neighbors was doing things, and that really it was Neighbors who was willing this Giants offense into the end zone, then I'd say, yeah, all right. I look at Jackson Dart as a guy who's going out there with basically nothing, and every time they start a drive, they're scoring a touchdown to start the game.
Right now, through 6 starts in his career, to me, the best attributes that Dart has is, number one, his intangibles, the leadership, the mindset, the confidence, all those things that you certainly need in this town to succeed. So he has that. And those things can start to erode. The more you lose, the more the media vultures come out, call for the coaches, everything around you is crumbling. Like, that could hurt even the most confident people's confidence. You're starting to see that a little bit, not his confidence being hurt, but just like, what the hell's going on here? Yesterday, I felt that in the postgame. To me, that would be his greatest attribute so far, along with his ability to be a dual threat. I don't look at him as saying he's some great thrower of the football, but so I think he could run well, and I think he can throw it a little bit. I think he's got to improve on that. More accuracy, more consistency. Also, his greatest strength on the field running the football could be a weakness because he's reckless and can get himself hurt. So there's a long way to go from where I'm sitting. Like, I'm happy with the way that it's gone so far as seeing him as a starter for 6 games, not the result, but yes, you feel like you have something. Dude, I saw C.J. Stroud have way more success than I saw Jackson Dart have. I saw Jaden Daniels have way more success than I saw Jackson Dart have. I've seen Bo Nix have way more success than Jackson Dart have. And those guys still, nobody sold on in year 2. So I'm just saying 6 games. Let's not make it like all of a sudden the guy's Joe Montana.
As unappealing, this is the irony of it for me, as unappealing as the Giants' job has been for so long, all right, as unappealing as it's been, and as bad as it's looked, blowing leads and getting gashed and lifeless press conferences and checking out of tackles and getting gashed up the middle with the run, it's actually appealing because of the quarterback. So I think the pool will be very deep. I think that's encouraging. And then, you got to make sure that Mara understands it's time to really clean house.
Benny calling from Fairlawn. What's up, Benny?
Hey, Ben.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
What's up, buddy?
I was at the game yesterday, and just a couple of points. It's over the years, the Giants never seem to do a first drive touchdown, and all of a sudden this year, I think it's 3, maybe even 4 games they did a first drive touchdown.
4.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Theo Johnson made a nice play that was right in front of me, but of course later in the game he dropped the ball that hit him right between the numbers, kind of killed the drive. But the other thing I want to talk about, which is I've been going to the games since Yankee Stadium. I'm a little bit older than most of the audience, I bet. I would say, and maybe you can check with Evan and Sean about this, it looked like the crowd was at least 25-30% San Francisco fans.
Well, we can check with Hoff. Hoff's there all the time. He said about 40%, right?
I'd go 50%.
50%? He's there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was awful. I mean, and I remember when during the Parcells years, one of the most exciting things, if it was for me, I'm sure it's for the players, when they announced the players, when they came out, introduction, and the roar that the stadium would, conjure up when, LT and Sims and Bavaro came out. I mean, that had to psych the players up. The players ran out yesterday. It was like, the dogs chasing the Frisbees coming out. There's no life in that stadium. And
bad.
I'm not sure whether that's an indictment of, the fans selling their tickets to,
that's not their fault.
Benny, you know what that's about. They've been losers for a decade. This is the 3rd straight year they've started 2-7. What do you want the fans to do?
I totally understand. I mean, this is as bad as the 70s when they were god awful. But here's a 1% silver lining. Maybe Jackson Dart kind of can be like the Phil Sims of this next era. It took Sims a few years to get. Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Yes, no question.
Guys, I appreciate.
Okay.
I appreciate your talking, and thanks.
Thanks, Benny. I didn't mean to step on you there. Thank you very much. You've been going to Yankee Stadium with the Giants, huh? Yeah, he said something that I've said, and I've actually documented this. I've got to pull up the old tweet. I'm not going to do it now, and I won't even necessarily do it on the air, but I remember doing it a while ago, and I did it with you, where, people growing up, you heard, oh, my God, the Giants in the 70s, and I really, myself remember watching football starting in the early 80s, but historically, the Giants' 70s, the decade of the 70s, was as bad as it was for their franchise. This is worse. People think that I'm just, being hyperbolic. It's worse. The 70s, oh, my God. Remember when Herm Edwards scooped up the Passarch? Yeah, you remember that? Yeah. For those of you who lived it, you do. Guess what? This is worse. Go back, go to Football Reference, type in New York Football Giants, okay? And look at the 70s. Look at the records. Look at the point differential. Look at all the stuff. It's there for you. Offensive rank, defensive rank, as deep as you want to get, but you can just get as basic as the records. This is worse than the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't around in the 70s, and I really don't care about the history of it, whether it's the 70s, whether it's the 80s, whether it's the 90s or 2000s when they won a couple of Super Bowls recently. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is it shouldn't be this difficult to build a competitive, competent football team. What matters to me is when you do decide to make a change, when they did, you give the new regime some runway here. Now, the issue that I have, and this is why I really think the core issue is just the way that it's been going with the Giants for a while. Firing guys, hiring guys repeatedly, screwing up Daniel Jones, then forcing a new quarterback and the Saquon Barkley. Barkley and Jones should have been, I said this at the time, should have been cleaned out. Those issues should have been cleaned out before Shane and Dable ever took over. They weren't. Then they had the immediate success, and everybody got excited about that. That led to extending Daniel Jones, which led to some issues. There are not just singular reasons where, Joe Shane doesn't know what he's doing. Brian Dable doesn't know what he's doing. It's more encompassing than just that. However, 4 years is 4 years. Their record is what it is. It's time to move on. but to me, it has nothing to do with the history. It has nothing to do with where they've been, how bad it was at any point. Just evaluating this for whatever reason, multiple reasons, it's nowhere near good enough. And I don't know how anybody can believe that it would change for the better anytime soon.
I don't really think anybody does. And I mean, really think about this. The entire, I guess, skeleton, if you will, of the New York Giants has been, I mean, I hate to be so crass here, but ass backwards. I mean, really going back to Saquon, the entire identity was on a running back, and he's an amazing player. But, I mean, what team that's going to win the Super Bowl's best player, and I know they won it last year, is about a running back. I mean, it's always about the quarterback and the defensive ends and all the other stuff. So that was backwards, and then they completely misread the quarterback situation, Daniel Jones. When you do that, it adds up, and here we are, deeper and deeper into this regime, which is just going nowhere.
Right, think about it. So the mistakes of Dave Gettleman and the prior regime were still felt.
No question. I think even Reese into Gettleman.
Correct.
No doubt about it.
So it's been one thing after another after another. And that's why I hesitate. We all think Dart is it, but nobody knows that. It's 6 games. These things change year to year, week to week, they change. So that may be the one bright spot right now, and you hope that that's the case. But when you hire a whole new regime, I'm not forcing anything on anybody, and you have to hope that new regime in their 4 years can clean up Shane and Dable's mess now and overcome that. BT and Sal on the Fan Sports Talk on WFAN is presented by Paramount Plus. Can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
This week on The Fan.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see OAR 3 Decades Tour at PNC Bank Arts Center on September 17th or at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater on September 18th, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets go on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com.
Brought to you by Live Nation. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out. At Nielsen,
Fridays in the driver's seat. Black Friday sales event. With approval term 24 months due at signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819 at tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
Are you fans? It's football season, so make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights gridiron action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights football is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action to get you ready for kickoff, presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you.
It is anything but happy days around here as it pertains to football. It's the same thing. I can't take it anymore. Whether it's the Jets, the Giants, year after year, we say the same thing. Hey, hopefully they can be relevant by October, by Halloween, this and that. And it's the same exact result. Outside of the one outlier with the first year with Dable, who, Dable took most of what Gettleman had on that roster and made the most of it, got to the postseason, won a playoff game. Unfortunately, it proved to not be sustainable. They could not build off of that. Total regression year after year after year. And here we are yet again, BT, in a world where in the NFL, and by the way, the NFL is just insane now. Like, did you see any of the Chiefs Bills yesterday?
Yeah.
You've got guys. Okay, so not just the Chiefs Bills, but there was one play specifically in there. The 4th and 17. There's 4th and 17, Kansas City goes for it with 4th and 17. Imagine that. The majority of my life as a sports fan, 4th and 17, unless it's the final drive of the game.
Remember what happened with Ray Rice? Ray Rice had I think it was maybe 16, 4th and 16.
Or even the one with the...
It's rare, though, back then.
There was one, who the hell converted it? It was the Eagles and Packers. There was a huge 4th down. Might have been a playoff game years ago. Anyway, those were like 4th and 17, you're toast, you're punting. Mm-hmm. And Andy Reid and the Chiefs are like, oh, no, we're going for it. Yeah. So much so that I think even Romo at the time was like, oh, maybe they try to draw them off here. I forget what he was saying. But boom, they go for it, and they convert. Then they get the touchdown. They go for 2. They get that. You saw a 68-yard field goal being kicked yesterday. You see these comebacks. You see the Bears-Bengals game.
Oh, my God.
Dude, the Bengals 2 weeks in a row, what the hell is going on? Anyway, point is, in an NFL with just craziness and things happening that you just can't even believe, the Jets and Giants consistently continue to suck and be at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, yesterday was wild, by the way. I mean, you talk about what Sam Darnold did. Are you kidding me?
I know. Last night,
I didn't even
in those sick unis. By the way, I love those old school Seahawks unis.
Yeah, those are nice. Kurt Warner was the running back then. Jim Zorn, Steve Largent. I don't remember all the things that Jerry was dropping during the update. I think it was 7:20. when I got in the car this morning, but some of the things that Darnold did in the first half hadn't been done since like 1978. Like, I want to say maybe no incompletions, 250 yards or more, and 4 touchdowns, like something wacky. So you had that, the Packers lose, the Colts lose, the Bills reestablish themselves. Yeah, it's fun for most cities.
Don't you think, because you mentioned Darnold, and you said this before, I think we'd have to be naive to think that the New York media and the landscape doesn't have some kind of negative impact. It's why I was trying to fight it off with Aaron Glenn earlier on in this year, and I'll continue to do that as long as he gets this team going the right way. I have to feel like the immediacy from the fans and media of like needing to see success, the witch hunt early on, like there's been a witch hunt going on for Dable for 3 years. This year we all now know it's over, but the beginning of last year, to me, where people calling for his job was a little bit unfair. Same thing with Aaron Glenn this year in year one. Or the quarterbacks. Oh, Sam Darnold. Oh, he's seeing ghosts. Oh, my God. Daniel Jones. And he was through the ringer for many different reasons. You can't tell me that doesn't have a negative. You can bring baseball into it if you want. It has to have a negative impact because a lot of guys, head coaches, quarterbacks, whatever, other players go on to have success elsewhere. Teams with far less payrolls in baseball have more immediate success than the big bad mighty Yankees, and now with the Mets with their payroll. Something is off here that's just, I really believe to a certain extent that the media in some ways, shape, or form in New York is a part of the problem.
I think I thought that at one point. I think football is definitely different than baseball here, and even the Knicks, who have been much better the last couple of years. I think that the football writers are and reporters are just so used to, and this is not me placing blame at their doorstep at all. And it's not their job to get these teams good.
Right.
It's their jobs to report what's going on.
Right. The results you can't argue with.
Yeah. They're a liaison to the fans, so they're just doing their job. So this is not shade toward them, but I think that it's been so ugly and like so catastrophically, unacceptably bad that maybe the questions get a little aggressive earlier than they would if there was more of a proven track record. Like the Yankees, all right, we could sit here and say the Yankees haven't won since 2009, which is true, but the Yankees still pump out 90-something wins, and while I'm tired of that and I'd like to win a championship, it's hard to just harpoon somebody when you do that on a regular basis, whereas with the Jets and the Giants, it's like it's very easy to go aggressive and go for the nuclear button because they have not given us any reason not to.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking through, I think the players in baseball, the individuals, maybe have it a little more challenging here, whereas the organizations in the NFL would have it more difficult here. You can't tell me that it's not a part of it. How come Sam Darnold can look the way that he looked when he never looked like that with the Jets? Or at least, it was so infrequent. Maybe he had 1 or 2 games that made you really believe like he could be a guy, and then we just completely ruined him. Now, I'm not saying we, as in all of us here, fans and media, but the Jets couldn't maximize it. The overwhelming negativity from fans and media alike forced it to a situation where I never thought Sam Darnold would be good in my life, and yet he's been now good with 2 other organizations. Same thing with Daniel Jones. So there's got to be something to it.
Well, listen, I think that the biggest issue is that they try to get these football situations fixed with people that haven't done the job yet.
Right.
And, all the other stuff. So when the noise gets loud, listen, I wanted Mike Vrabel before I wanted Aaron Glenn. But, if Mike Vrabel's here and things go sideways like they did early for Aaron, he's got a certain gravitas, not in the city, but he's got a resume. So he can kind of, Heisman some people whoa, we've seen this before. Whereas when Aaron does this, it's met in some circles as, who does he think he is? And what is he doing? And he's a combative relationship with the media. It's not going to work out. So I think that's part of it. So you are tasking unproven people with this Herculean task of fixing everything. And that's the biggest issue.
Correct. And you could say the same thing for a quarterback who's a kid from USC, in Darnold's case, coming to New York City, and the expectation is going to be Broadway Joe, Broadway Sam, whatever. And if we don't get it immediately, if you don't get it immediately, then it's he's another one who doesn't have it. You're right. Because it's been so bad for so long, it snowballs to a point where it is a Herculean task to overcome. And when you hire a first-time guy to do it or a rookie QB to do it immediately, and the expectation is, well, go save us now without even like the wiggle room or the runway, it becomes insurmountable, or if not, just flat out impossible. So now that's my fear as it pertains to Jackson Dart, is that he's going to be the one guy that, like, everybody definitively wants, or at least the majority of people want Shane and Dable gone, new coaching staff. Okay, let's see what we could do now with Jackson Dart in place. Then the onus is going to be on him. I guess depending on who they bring in. If they bring in another first-timer, then it could be on them as well. But if they bring in an established, which I would recommend, have been recommending for a while, an established head coach, whoever that may be, Belichick, Mike McCarthy, whatever, I got to decide who I would. I actually would want Brian Flores myself. That's who I would want. Now, there are some question marks there, but he's a no-nonsense badass. I want him to be a leader of men. I want him to be my head football coach. Go find an offensive coordinator. Anyway, point is, then the ask is going to be of Jackson Dart to be the savior again.
Think about the infrastructure of a team, right? So let's say, I don't think this will happen, but just to push this forward, right? Let's say Belichick's coaching the Giants next year.
Yeah.
Just say this, right?
Yeah.
Which I'd be open to. I just don't think it's going to happen. And you're trying to build this thing up, right? And when you talk about any infrastructure, I think people think O-line and offensive play calling and weapons, and that, of course, matters. But I'm talking about the internal infrastructure to absorb the noise. So because Dable has no juice here, and because Glenn has no juice here, they can't do that as effectively as Belichick or whatever veteran coach.
Even
McCarthy.
if they try, which they have.
Yeah, no, they have tried, true. But they don't, it's not a lack of want. They don't know how to do it. So if it's Belichick, he could say, listen, Jackson, you worry about your job. I got everything else. I got it all. I got it all under control. Don't you worry about anything. And he's going to protect him. That's why, like to put a bubble around the quarterback, to just let the quarterback focus on his job. Once the noise and the daggers and the calls and the clicks and the tweets, once that is not stifled by somebody that emits confidence and emits the ability to pull this team out of it, now it's anarchy. And nobody believes in Dable, and hopefully Glenn doesn't get to that point as well. But I know that wouldn't happen with somebody who's already won a Super Bowl.
It's either, you need either or. The resume and the cachet to block out the noise, and then, like you said, if Belichick comes here and they're losing it first, he's Bill Belichick still, so people, fans, media, whatever, going to trust him, maybe not at this particular point.
And not forever, but they're going to trust him more than they trust what's going on now.
Or you need, let's use Glenn as an example, a guy who says all the right things initially, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we all get behind it. He's got to have some success. So when...
Like Campbell.
Correct. He didn't
Even
have
though he
success
started off poorly, but you know what I'm saying.
That's my point. So with Glenn...
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
With Glenn, it started to go sideways. Like, week one was fine. Even though they lost the game, it was
Definitely.
Still, everybody was like, oh, my God, this is great. Like, the Jets played their best game in years.
Yeah, we almost won.
Then week two, it was like, uh-oh. Then week three, it was like...
Now Fields is hurt and things are going awry.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then it starts to become louder and louder, and he has no track record to fight off the defender, the detractors.
It's untenable. Whereas in Detroit, maybe Campbell gets more road to figure things out.
BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls. We come back. Approved Oil. They have been the leading heating oil dealer in New York for over 92 years. And right now, rates are low. It's time to lock in for this upcoming winter before the cold weather drives prices up. Call today to lock in your low rate. While there's no guarantee your team will win every Sunday, we know that's the case with these two football teams. It is a lock that Approved Oil will have you feeling worry-free this winter. Approved Oil has been delivering a brighter and warmer tomorrow for almost a century. If you want a lower heating bill, it has to be Approved Oil. Visit freezetherate.com. This Odyssey Sports Minute is brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Hey, look out for pedestrians. Safety is a shared responsibility.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Bengals defense is sinking this team again. Joe Flacco throws for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading a 14-point comeback in the final 2 minutes. And they still lose because the defense can't close. The Bengals D gave up 576 yards, 47 points, and a 58-yard game winner in the final seconds. 2 straight weeks, same collapse, and at 3-6, Cincinnati's wasting the season. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Turning cloudy, maybe a brief shower, high 60.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdown to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel's giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/GIO to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/GIO to get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
So, there's this guy, Paul Rivera, grew up in the Bronx, made some mistakes, but eventually becomes one of those hard-working citizens who keep our city going. But he gets pulmonary fibrosis, and his only hope is a lung transplant. When one hospital, Montefiore Einstein, get him a new lung, and they give him a new life. Right. Everyone in his neighborhood is like,
They give that guy a new lung or a new motor.
the story, Mr. Giamatti. Well, you ought to know, Mr. Rivera, you lived it.
Everyone loves a comeback. Montefiore Einstein, national leader in transplant.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released 3rd-generation Chef IQ Sense at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Target's early Black Friday deals are almost here, and they're bigger than ever. Take 40% off select gifts and holiday decor for 3 days only, starting this Thursday. Score can't-miss deals on new fits for the whole fam, festive lights and decorations to brighten your home, and even top toys like select Lego sets for endless holiday fun. Shop in-store or online, but don't miss out. These deals are going fast. 40% off gifts and holiday decor starts Thursday, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes! Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Cattina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Fan, I have a little bit of a dilemma here. Maybe Hop, you could jump in and help me out with this before we get back to the calls. So you guys
lost yesterday, 34-24.
Who are you talking about?
I thought you guys about the Giants score.
No. What do you mean? We know that. We got that under control here. So last week on Friday, BT, Mitch from Fort Lee called. I actually asked him to do me a favor and get me Knicks tickets. Not for free. Mitch usually has access to these tickets. I got a request from somebody in the family.
Okay.
That wanted to go to the Knicks game on November 5th. That's this Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
So I told Mitch a while ago, all right, get me this date, whatever. Let me know the things. He gives me the seat. He gives me the total. I'm like, done. Boom, whatever. I'm giving them as a birthday gift to one of my young nephews.
Joey?
No. One of my young nephews, yeah.
All right.
My wife's brother's kids.
Nice.
Okay,
nice.
He wants to go.
Nice.
He's a big Knicks fan now.
That's right.
His father, his father passed away. He was a big Knicks fan, so he's now into that.
Yep.
So we're going to surprise him with Knicks tickets.
Are you taking them or somebody else taking them?
His mother's going to take them.
That's awesome.
So my wife, she said, no, I'll pay. You maybe if you want to pay for him. I'm like, no, we got it. We want to treat him. My wife and I want to make that his birthday gift.
Mm-hmm.
I go through Mitch. He's like, don't worry about it. Got it. Whatever. We work it out. I get the tickets last Friday. It's for November 9th against the Nets. I go, dude, what's going on? You got me the wrong game here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you sure? You said, I go, I sent you the right date. Like, you got me the wrong date. So now I was desperate in that particular case. So I had to go to ask a favor from somebody else for this. Like, hey, do you have access to this?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to buying. I just want like a good value, whatever. You know how it's hard to.
Yeah. I get it.
Now, that was on Thursday. The person said, let me look into it, and I'll get back to you. It is now Monday. At what point do I need to follow up here with the... Now, I don't want to be overbearing because I hate to even ask, but I'm desperate in this particular spot.
Understood.
And by the way, if they can't come through, it is what it is. I'm just going to have to figure out to take it on the chin the best way possible, get the best seat and buy it. Like, it's not the end of the world.
How many are you looking for?
2 tickets.
I might be able to help you, but we'll talk about that off the air. Yeah, we'll talk about that off the air. If I can, I'll text somebody as soon as we go to break.
Well, I'm going to tell you who I asked.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you without you revealing on the air to answer your question. If it's if it's a middle of the road lackey, you just keep stepping on the gas. If it's somebody that's big, you got to tap dance around the equation here.
I went full desperation. I need help. Hoff, can you put me in contact with this person?
Is it Mike Breen? I mean, I'm trying to think somebody with the Knicks.
No. I'll let you know how to do it. No,
I'm sure I could guess this.
And I'm like I said, I'm not looking for a handout now.
I know you're not.
But I asked, receptive, totally. Hey, I'll look into it. I'll get back to you if I can help.
They just haven't gotten back to you.
And it's Monday.
When was the last time you spoke to this person?
Thursday through text.
No, I'm saying before your request for tickets.
You're gonna like this one.
How many years ago?
Never.
So you're really throwing a Hail Mary. So. Oh, my God. I can't wait for you to tell me during the break. So it's not somebody like Francesco who you talk to occasionally.
Never.
I'm very curious here.
All right, but regardless of who it is, do I send the follow-up today? Do I give another day tomorrow? Do I just move on without it?
Well, to move on without it would be foolhardy because you need an answer. So I would say respectfully, kick the tires when we go to break here. Send a text. Hey, and I always do stuff like this. Hey, so-and-so. Hey, Mr. Dolan. Nah, just kidding. Hey, so-and-so. Just circling back. I'll even say just gently circling back, comma.
Yeah.
And then express what you need to express. And then depending upon what they say, I can reach out to my guy who could have some success with this.
Because in addition, I've been hitting up Mitch like, dude, you got to get me some options here. I'm trying to figure out best options. Like, I can't be left at the altar here. I got to get 2 tickets one way or another.
Does the boy know? Or is it a
No,
surprise?
he does not know. Surprise.
Okay, so then why? I know his birthday's Wednesday. You want to do it on the birthday, but what's the difference if it's a couple of days after he's still going to see the Knicks?
His mother requested that particular game.
So logistically, it's an issue.
And
Got it.
because I think Sunday is his actual party.
Okay,
so it can't be Sunday because we're going there for the party Sunday. Yeah, I know. Point is, Mitch screwed me, dude. I don't like asking for favors.
No, he doesn't like asking Mitch for favors. No,
not at all. That's not really a favor. That's just
not at all.
Mitch, for whatever reason, has he's in touch with a lot of people who have tickets.
I know he is.
People season tickets, like you're paying probably over face value, but whatever. Like at least sometimes I get a good option. Like 200s, but the first couple of rows,
and they're great seats.
Yeah,
and I know
it's a
you're not
decent
getting
value.
bent over.
So that's the thing. So, but I don't like asking out, like reaching out for this person. If it were not for who it's for, I would never have done it.
Did you explain?
I did.
What you're trying to do here because of your brother-in-law. Okay, gotcha.
Trust
so that I would,
Like that's
I'm
the
sure
whole,
you did.
I told him, I go, dude, I hate even to ask with this.
You prefaced it with the,
but here's the situation. Like this is a pretty important, and this particular person could maybe help out, even make the experience better, potentially.
Oh, do I know this person?
You do. Yes. You do know those.
Okay,
I'll tell you
gotcha.
All right, but anyway, so you think I got to reach out at some point?
I think you have to. I think you can get the answer because if you don't get the answer, you can't really go for Plan B.
Now you're more
or Plan C.
You're a lot
more what?
forward than I am.
Yes, but you've got to get forward. Yes, but not in an abrupt, blunt manner. Like in a. If I need an answer, I'm also the kind, and you do this as well. Like I do a lot for other people. I really do.
Right.
Like I don't really ask for much. So when I do need a favor, I don't really have, and you're not looking for a free handout either. Right. So I don't have an issue
doing it. I asked about, do you have access?
I know.
Assuming,
which is the classy way of saying, of course I want to pay.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a handout here. No, listen, you get what you ask for in life here. If you don't ask, you don't get the answer. It's really that simple.
Well, you remember to bring it back to the Giants here before we get to the calls. Remember we had a Dory Jackson. I was like, hey, what's up with those throwback jerseys? And he said closed mouths don't get fed, and he was going to send us the jersey.
You get the jersey?
Never. No. Years later, never.
It's actually it's at the practice facility. What do you think?
Yeah.
I would trade it for a tackle from somebody on defense. Can we instead of the jersey, Adori, just have? And I know he's not there anymore.
No. But if you asked him twice, you would have the jersey. That's my point.
I did ask him multiple times.
Oh, you did? I think you just asked him once.
I asked him too. I went to the locker room. I go, hey, by the way, you still got that jersey? To the facility.
How sick were those helmets? By the way, the uniforms are great.
Those.
Oh, man.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Even Dart with like the blue and the red, he just looks like a stud, man. They got that right.
BT and Sal, the fan. Lawrence is calling from Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, Laura.
Hey, guys. It's with Shane Bowen. I'm expecting him to be fired here soon. I'm so sick of watching this defense not get better every single week. There's no adjustments being made. Like, what is going on with the team that every single game, not anything improves? Players don't get better. Schemes don't get better. And things just got to be status quo. That's the norm for the Giants. Heads need to roll, and Shane Bowen needs to be fired. I'm so sick of him. And it's terrible.
Bowen's small potatoes, though. And thanks for the call.
Until he's gone, he's not, though. That's the crazy thing.
But think about it. If you fired Bowen,
I know.
What's it going to do?
I don't know. I mean, really, it would. You know what it is. And I don't like to fire people for this reason at all. Like he should lose his job because he's not very good at what he's doing. But there are times that you have to give the fans something.
Honestly, the more I think this through, if you're Dable and you're trying to survive, you already pulled the Jackson Dart salvo. If I'm him, I would fire Bowen now and just pray to God that whoever I had take over, wherever that may come from, it's obviously going to come from within. Nobody in their right mind is going to come from the outside.
Yeah, let me sign on for 2 months.
Yeah, but maybe just hope that somebody can do something else with this defense because Bowen just is not.
The problem with that is, and that might be his only recourse, the only problem, though, is he already went down this road with Wink. So, if you're Mara, do you even want to hear this from Shane? From
probably
Dable
not.
at this point?
I'm just saying, dude, you got to be trying to do anything you can. All right, BT and Sal on the fan. Reset down with the king topic of the day when we come back. 888-808-1019. Of course, the Giants, another horrific loss. I think we've all seen enough.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan 101.9 FM.
The deeper you get into the playoffs, the harder it is to reset and get ready for the next year. The Mets still have a lot to prove with a great roster and a lot of talent.
Stream Keith McPherson live or on demand with the Odyssey app and podcast the show wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, New Yorkers, fast, reliable internet can be yours when you switch to Fios. For a limited time, combine Fios home internet and one line of mobile for just $69.99 a month. Get unlimited welcome for $50 a month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees when you bring your phone. And add Fios 300 megabytes per second for $19.99 a month with AutoPay Mobile Plus discount and bonus discount. Visit your tri-state area Verizon store today to get this limited time offer and switch to our reliable 100% fiber optic 5G network. Fios, for eligible new Fios Internet and mobile customers. Both the $15 monthly discounts for Fios and Bring Your Phone applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. $99 Fios setup charge applies. For unlimited welcome, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000, sold in Mississippi.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York. Visit their Audi flagship store today, conveniently located on 55th and 11th. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence. Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right, bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's second chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
By now, everyone knows that I love my Elevate Hydrogen-Infused Super Water. Well, I've told you all about how amazing I'm feeling. The science speaks for itself. But did you know that even longevity experts, pro athletes, and many doctors choose Elevate for its benefits? And they want you to have a chance to make Elevate your water of choice. So here's what they are offering today. Simply go to Instagram or Facebook, send them a direct message with the word Boomer, and they will send you a link to receive up to 12 of their premium super waters 100% free. I can't wait for you to try it.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12:01. I'm Andrew Bogish. This Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com, and by the United Healthcare Medicare store in Jackson Heights. A lot of people watched that epic Game 7 between the Dodgers and Blue Jays Saturday night. Nielsen says the thriller averaged nearly 26 million viewers across Fox platforms. It's baseball's largest audience since Game 7 of the 2017 Fall Classic between the Dodgers and Astros. It's also the largest Saturday night audience for any non-Super Bowl or Olympics since 1996. A little closer to home, Max Fried won the Gold Glove last night, and Don Mattingly, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, Carlos Delgado, and Jeff Kent all on the Contemporary Era Committee ballot for Cooperstown. Same rules as the main ballot. Anyone who receives 75% of votes becomes a Hall of Famer. This group also includes Barry Bonds. The NFL trade deadline is now tomorrow afternoon. The Eagles reportedly adding Dolphins pass rusher Jalen Phillips. The Nets host the T-Wolves at 7 here on the Fan. The Knicks entertain the Wizards at 7:30. Fan weather sponsored by Motion Sports Medicine. Living in New York is not a spectator sport. Don't let pain keep you on the sidelines. Get back to what moves you with Motion's expert physical therapist. Most insurance is accepted. Schedule an appointment at motionptg.com today. It's 57 degrees and cloudy in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogut.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019, the number to call. Reset in a second here. I don't know if you just caught that update. I know you were talking to Hoff there, BT, during the break. Did you hear the update about the Baseball Hall of Fame and the contemporary ballot?
I heard one name. Actually, I heard a couple of names. I heard Donnie. I heard Clemens. I was in the middle of a conversation with Hoff talking about some mafia stuff. But
I find this
hit it up.
I find this fascinating.
You know, I love this.
Bonds, Clemens. We're not going to get into a whole big thing. We'll get reset here with the Giants here. But Bonds, Clemens, Delgado, Kent, Dale Murphy. I'm surprised Murphy's not in. Gary Sheffield, Fernando Valenzuela, and Don Mattingly. Now the results. So that is the contemporary baseball era player ballot. In consideration for the Hall of Fame class of 2026. The results are going to be announced December 7th.
Wow.
So we have a long way to go here. We'll know.
Wow. Now, hit real fair. I know we got the Giants stuff, but give me each name, and I want to give you my first instinct if I think they're going to get in on this particular.
Not what you would do.
No, I got you.
Now, this is going to be it, though, right? Because these guys are all off the ballot.
Yeah, they're definitely off the ballot.
So they're off the ballot, contemporary ballot. Once they get denied here, I think that's going to be it.
This, dude. It's so convoluted at this point. I think there's always a Hail Mary checkpoint to maybe get in, but this very well might be the last one. Go ahead. Do I think they'll get in?
Bonds.
No.
Me neither. Clemens.
No.
Me neither. Bonds and Clemens weren't even close until I'm just reading an Evan Roberts tweet here.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, maybe they can be on this. Was 2023 the last time they were actually on the ballot? No, it had to be because they retired a while ago. So they were on the contemporary ballot before.
I don't think they were on the contemporary. That's why I say they just kind of changed this somewhat recently.
So then, why is Evan saying they were close in 2023? Anyway, I don't know the whole rules on this. Okay, so no on those two.
No.
Delgado.
No.
I think he might.
It's close. There's a case. I'm giving you my first instinct. No.
Kent.
Yes.
Yeah, he also should be.
Yes.
I mean, I would probably go, forget about what I would do, what they would do. I mean, I would probably go yes on them, because what we would do is totally different.
I know. Delgado was good.
Maybe that's the better way to do it. Would you be yes across the board?
Clemens and Bonds at this point, yes.
Delgado?
I'm still leaning no, but I could be persuaded.
Yeah, we'd have to look at the number. I would go yes with Delgado.
Yeah, I've looked at his numbers. Yeah. I could go either way, but my first gut is no.
Kent?
More no than yes. Kent, yes.
Valenzuela?
Yes.
Also surprised. He should be in the hole.
Yes. Now, his numbers are, again, the Fernando Mania coming up, the Rookie of the Year, the Dodgers won the World Series, but the screwball, he was he was Shohei Ohtani before Shohei Ohtani in terms of that, now he didn't hit, of course, but in terms of that spectacle, that international spectacle that really grabbed the sport. God, that was strong. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know
if he's got the numbers, but I think that his initial impact on the sport, I would say yes. Who else?
Sheffield?
No.
He's a tough one for me. Numbers would say yeah, but then the PED stuff.
Bounced around 10 teams.
Although if I'm going to say Delgado.
I would say Sheffield over Delgado myself.
Right. So if I'm going to say Delgado, I'd probably have to go both.
Yep.
Dale Murphy?
But the back-to-back MVPs, that's always the case there. He won them I think it was 83, 84 or 82, 83.
See, to me, if you're the best player in the sport
for 2 years in a row,
I mean, how are you not a Hall of Famer?
Well, think about this. Donnie won it in 85, and he finished second in 86. So he was a couple of votes with Clemens won it in 86. So Donnie almost had the same thing. Now, Mattingly had better years, if you will, than Dale Murphy.
I don't know.
No, Dale Murphy fizzled out fast. I know Donnie fizzled out, too. Don't get me wrong. I know every stat of Donnie.
Let me just give you some of the quick numbers.
Murphy?
23, I'm just going to give you homers, ribbies.
Go ahead.
23-79.
And he was a center fielder, so that matters, too. Back then, center fielders didn't hit as much.
I remember him more in right field, but anyway, 23-79, 21-57, 33-89.
It's good.
1350, he was hurt that year.
Okay.
36-109.
That's the MVP year. It's got to be.
Led the league in ribbies, MVP.
Yep.
Next year, 36-121.
Big year. Good speed,
MVP.
too. Good speed as well. He ran.
Yeah, those years, he had 23 stolen bases, then 30 stolen bases. 36-100.
Yeah, big year.
37-111. So he won 2 MVPs, led the league in ribbies, then led the league in homers those 2 years, and led the league in runs scored.
Okay.
He hit, while hitting 281, 302, 290, 300. Okay. Now he starts to go down a little bit, 29-83. 44-105. He had 295. Did not lead the league in any category in 1987.
I guess I forgot about the 40. Yeah, that's okay.
24-77, 20-84, 24-83. Now remember, these
good,
are
but not,
But remember, this is mid-80s to 1990, and that's at age 34. But he still had, Mattingly did it for 5-6 years, you'd say, right?
Yeah, Donnie did it for 84, the batting title, really up until 87, 88, up until 88.
I mean, dude, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, he's
all right. Let me ask you this: OPS career,
815.
All right, slightly better than I would have thought. How many hits is in total? He didn't get 2.
2,000.
He did get
2,100.
He did get that many. How many home runs?
He's a compiler.
3 change.
398.
Yeah, I mean,
and he was one of those guys, 7-time All-Star. He was the best. In the league at that point, I would say yes.
Yeah, I hear you. I felt like there was
put them all in.
Yeah, more of a drop after those MVP years when he went back to back. Maybe I misremember that. I could be convinced. And obviously, I'm putting Donnie in,
and you would put Donnie in.
Yeah,
me too. All right, I mean, not to belabor, we could have maybe this conversation.
That's always fun.
It is fun. I do love that conversation. But back to the task at hand here. It is New York Giant football. Exactly right. It's not fun. Never want to just come on and definitively say it's time to go. It's over, but it's over. It's definitive for me. I've given Brian Dable the benefit of the doubt. I thought that if they kept him beyond last season, it needed to be a multi-year thing, knowing that they would draft their own quarterback and try to develop him. Unfortunately for Dable, I don't think that you can, and certainly not for Shane. They can't be 2-7 for the third straight year and still tell me with a straight face that they've been drafting well. The defense should be better than what it should be. The record should be better than what it is, whether it's the Dallas game, the Saints game, the Broncos game, the game yesterday. They were non-competitive for the most part after that opening drive. You never felt like they were really going to win that football game. So unacceptable. I've seen enough. I think Giants need to clean house. Not about Bowen, not about the coordinators. It's everybody. Shane, Dable, see you later. New regime next year.
Here's what I kept hearing. Hey, wait till you start seeing better quarterback play. John's going to look really different. Hey, yeah, by the way, wait till you have a healthy Andrew Thomas. John's going to look a lot different. Do they? Well, when you see the better quarterback play, when you see a better, a healthy Andrew Thomas, which we've seen this year, you'll see the fruits of Joe Shane's labor. Will we? I mean, again, it's 2-7, as Sal just said. So now you just see players leaving the locker room early and players who stick around to answer questions, questioning everything. And, Carl Banks on franchise icons taking out star players, and star players don't seem very interested in playing hard. And here come the planes again flying over that ugly stadium, opposing fans taking over the stadium. The head coach sounds like a beaten man, unfortunately. What else is there to say?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when you boil it all down, you could have your opinion, I could have mine, the fans could have theirs, the Giants people could have theirs. The record speaks for itself.
It does.
I could fight off the record a little bit last year early on. I tried. The record speaks for itself. Mr. Mara gave them every opportunity. The 3 years and beyond, a fourth year, the chance to select their own quarterback. There have been a lot of screw-ups here, whether it's Barkley and Daniel Jones being forced upon the new regime, then having the success that led to the extension, whatever it may be. It's 4 years. It's definitive. They have not been able to turn over a roster that can simply, forget about playoffs, simply compete and win football games in their own division, overall, like you name it. They're nowhere near as close as they need to be in year 4.
I remember saying to you a couple of days ago that I think that there's a chance that the Jets have more wins than the Giants. And I actually think, sadly for the Giants, that we're on pace for that. Now, neither total is going to be gaudy, but I mean, think about and just kind of juxtapose the storylines here. I mean, think about how ugly it was for Aaron Glenn. And it's still going to be ugly until he shows that wasn't an anomaly. One win doesn't change everything. But the Giants were flying high. You had Cam Mania, and we all love Dart. I think Dart's going to be really, really, really good, but we have to see. And there was this energy around the Giants, and there was this hope, this renewed vigor, and it's all gone. Like the reality of just a roster that is weak, a defense that is overpaid and overhyped and getting pushed around every single Sunday in the middle of the trenches. Like, well, you can't stop the run. You have no chance.
No chance. The defense overrated from the beginning. The results have not been there. It's just a total mess every which way possible, and it needs to change. BT and Sal on the Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire, remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. And not only does it need to change, but then it brings up the other aspect of it where it feels like, okay, well, at least they changed it and move on to now somebody new. Is the next regime going to be set up in a position to succeed? Because now there are still, like, I would have rather have, and look, we love Jackson Dart so far through 6 games. There are no givens, but you'd much rather take your chances with Jackson Dart. But I would have rather have had a fresh start, meaning coming into this past draft and have a new regime come in and say, we want Jackson Dart or whichever guy they could identify, as opposed to now having to have a new regime. And this was predictable. We said it for years. Having a new regime take over now the quarterback that the prior regime selected. It doesn't mean that it can't work. There's reason to believe that, okay, well, they have the quarterback, so it should work with a competent GM and head coach. They come in here with already the hardest part maybe being determined with Jackson Dart, but it still does not fit the proper timeline or the way that I would like to have it set up for a well-run, functioning organization.
I put a lot of stock in the known rather than the unknown, and I think that the unknown is very appealing to a lot of people when it comes to draft status, right? Like if you were getting ready to, let's say the Titans didn't fire their coach this year, they fired him at the end of last year, which they should have done. And you're like, hey, man, I got the first overall pick, and I could pick this guy or I could do that. Now, maybe the new coach, if he had real juice, if it was a veteran, wouldn't have picked Cam Ward, right? Yeah. But to me, like the appeal of the first or the second pick or the third and having access to a bunch of different quarterbacks, Mendoza, Dante Moore, a few others in college that we're going to start talking about more and more, probably more so from a Jets perspective, like that is appealing, right? It is. But I think about the last few hiring cycles for the Giants. Now, the end of the Eli era, that's a tough act to follow, man. 2-time champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, future Hall of Famer, all-world 5-star platinum person. Ugh. You really want to be involved in that? How do you win? Unless you win the Super Bowl, it's going to be tough. All right, Daniel Jones. All right. Do you really want to attach yourself to that? And the answer for many was no. I think the Jackson Dart is going to be an incredibly appealing, like a magnet for coaches that would not have considered this job years ago. I really, truly believe that.
Maybe. And bottom line is, for me this time, it can't be a first-time head coach. Like I know you brought up Lane Kiffin, and I know he's coached many years ago. I mean, we're going back a long time.
Raiders. That's a long time ago, dude.
But that still counts.
He's in his 30s, Sal.
Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I know. I
he's
remember
50
he was,
now.
I know. It's a long
time ago.
Understood.
He's been humbled.
My example is, and by the way, like coaching is these guys don't know what they're doing. The majority of coaches in today's NFL, and the game has changed so significantly that even the coaches who used to know something back then have to evolve to where it is now. To the point where we're talking about like 4th and 17. If you're not punting in that spot, you're going for it. I know Mahomes is a different animal, but still, I think that there's some thought process behind that it might benefit your team by not just traditional punt. I almost think Dable in that regard is old school. Dable still coaches like it's the 80s or early 90s, which I personally like the more conservative route. It is the wrong route to take in today's NFL. It's just proven that way. When guys are kicking 68-yard field goals, when guys are being able within one play, 2 plays, boom, 40 yards, getting back into field goal range. Like, you can't coach conservatively. Anyway, I look at what Denver did with Sean Payton. Denver made their hire prior to Peyton. They brought in Russell Wilson. They wanted to change everything there with a veteran quarterback. It was a disaster. They fire the coach. They bring in Sean Payton. He has to clean up the mess. He goes 8-9 in the first year with Russell Wilson, basically kicks him to the curb and cleans it up immediately. Didn't have the top pick. Didn't go to a situation where the cupboard was totally bare. He figured out what he wanted to do with what was there. Get people out. Keep some people here, and then what he had to work with as far as the draft, select his quarterback, identify it, select it, and then have success. And that has been quite the turnaround there. Something like that would be what I would want to see here from the Giants.
Well, I get that, but I think you brought up something interesting, and it was a kind of small thing early in the show, but I think it's a good time to throw it back on the table here. So the deadline's coming up.
Yeah.
And you said you would basically have a mandate, like you would not allow them to
freeze.
Basically a freeze. Hey, all the assets, you're not touching them no matter what deal crosses our table. And I understand that, but then think about the other side of the coin here. Think about how appealing it would be for keep talking about the coach here, like what coach is going to want to come and coach us, and I think it's going to be a good group, but you also want a good, accomplished general manager. Eventually, hopefully, it's a tandem that both have had success and experience in the league, and the more draft capital that you could get in the next day or so, don't you think that becomes more appealing from a GM point of view?
I know, but who's making those decisions? Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where self-preservation could kind of come in. Like, think about this. And I've gotten off this train and not because they lost again, because I didn't think they'd win yesterday, but I was on the train, hey, even if the Giants lose these next couple, this is going back a few weeks ago, lose these next couple of games, go out there and still make a quarter, go make a big move for a wide receiver, bring him in to help accelerate Dart's progress. I said that. I think many people have said that as well. I don't even really want to do that anymore, because I think if you do that, the motivation might be internally, all right, I'm going to save my own ass here. Let me go out there, make a move for, I'm just throwing Waddle, even though they say they're not going to trade him.
Yeah.
And, now Dart will look even better, and I will look better as a result and increase my chances to be brought back by Mr. Mara. So I don't want any of that stuff going on. But if I am a GM and I get like 3 or 4 more picks, you want Dexter Lawrence, you want this, take him. Take whatever you want.
But that's why I'd have the freeze, because those decisions are going to be being made by somebody who in all likelihood...
You can't run the risk. No, I know.
Yeah,
that's why I say it's a good point by you.
Yeah.
I really hadn't even thought about that, but no, that's fair.
WFAN NFL football powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today, 888-808-1019. David is calling from Maplewood, New Jersey. What's up, David?
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, guys.
What's
up,
up,
nice
Dave?
weekend. It's not a matter of if Dart gets hurt. It's a matter of when he gets hurt. Now, I mean, he took some hits yesterday that he looked up at his offensive lineman with pity. That don't let me get beat up anymore, because he took some good shots yesterday. But I would give them another week and see if they upgrade their game at all. If they don't, and he starts taking hits again, I'd pull him and I wouldn't play him again.
I can't do it.
They do something.
You can't do it, David. Even if it's probably or potentially the prudent thing to do, just in terms of keeping him safe, there's zero chance that that's going to happen. You do not pull a healthy quarterback because you're worried about him getting hurt. You can't do it under any circumstance.
Well, they better do something with their offensive line, because it stinks.
No,
and
it's different.
The offense, though, David, the offense is not the problem. And thank you for the call. I understand that it's not great, and you need to see them run the football well. It's something we've been talking about for a while. Their running game was improved when Jackson Dart got under center as the starter, because then the RPO was effective. That was working with him and Scadaboo. Tracy's not a great running back. They don't run the football consistently enough. Even with Scadaboo in there now, it was different because, again, with Jackson Dart, and he's the primary runner there, then it looked different, and defense didn't know which way to go. Now, that's not the case with Scadaboo out. So, obviously, the offense could be better, BT, and more consistent, and I would expect that to be the case when Scadaboo gets back healthy next year and Malik Neighbors returns and they have a legitimate weapon. My concern is elsewhere. Yeah, of course you're always worried about Jackson Dart getting hurt because of the way that he plays. He'll learn to clean things up. He's a rookie. He's still got to learn. Look at Josh Allen. I remember watching Josh Allen year one thinking, my God, this guy's a mess, fumbling the football all over the place, reckless, putting his body in harm's way. And now look at him. The guy's the MVP, arguably the best quarterback in the league this side of Patrick Mahomes. So he'll learn. It's 6 games as a starter. My concern is everything else. The roster, the defense, like those things to me are what ultimately will get Shane and Dable fired.
Yes. I mean, the defense stinks. man. And it's not like they have an abundance of first overall picks or first round picks that have been drafted offensively, or they brought in all these free agents to bolster the offense. They did all that to bolster the defense, and the defense is wretched, man. They don't have a first quarterback. They can't stop the run. Listen, we're not going to just say the same things for 4 hours.
I know. It's really...
I mean, come on, man. We all know this here.
But think about it. They use resources to trade for Burns.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They selected a top player with Carter. They did the same thing with Kayvon Thibodeau.
They gave Dexter Lawrence all that money.
Like, come on.
No, that wasn't.
Not to mention the
Joe
other.
Shane, to be fair, with Dexter, but still, think about all the resources about Banks and everything.
Yeah, exactly right. Newbin, Phillips, doesn't matter how many other picks that they got to make here. I don't care if it's a third round pick, fourth round. The defense should be better than what it is right now.
It
was supposed to be their identity coming into this year.
That's what we were saying. I really thought that they would have a chance to wreck some games, and I remember just saying, hey, if Russ. Because we were talking about Russell Wilson to start the year, obviously. Hey, if Russ can just be decent, and provided he's not fully washed and, he could just protect the ball and not turn it over that much, and they could have a couple of more sustained drives, and they're not playing from behind, which would give their pass rusher more of a chance to impact the games. This was my thought going into the season. And they have done that. They score on offense. I mean, it's 4 straight games. Right. Let's at least give Dable that kind of credit. When you script the first 15 or 20 plays, at least that's working. Right. And then the defense shows up and they get gashed. So it's an absolute nightmare. And the other thing that I would say too about the quarterback, and obviously they're not going to sit him when he's fully healthy. What you do need to stop doing, and this we have to scream this at the top of the mountain. Like when you're down by multiple scores and you're looking for cosmetic scores just so you don't look so bad. And if you're having like quarterback keepers and Jackson Darts in danger, well then you should be escorted from the stadium. You should just be thrown out of the stadium before the game ends. Like that's irresponsible and unfair. But no, sitting him when he's healthy, no, nobody's going to do that. 888-808-1019. It is BT and Sal. Another happy football Monday. Yes, spared the Jets this week, but the good old Giants keep on producing the hits, huh? All right, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. Just bet against the Giants, you'll win. From yards to touchdowns to who's going to win with FanDuel, any play could be the play of the game. Now, tonight, FanDuel's giving all of you a shot at 30% profit boost token. That's right. Get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/BT to bet in on the fun. That's FanDuel.com/BT to jump in on the action and get a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. I've been telling you about FanDuel for almost a decade. It's safe, it's secure, and the best part is what really matters. When you win, you get paid right away. So play your game, whatever that might be, whatever your style is, with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and also the official sportsbook of WFAN. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
Drake May is playing out of his mind. This is a very good balanced team, and I love what Mike Vrabel has done with it.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and the iHeartRadio app.
We're counting down to Black Friday savings. It's the countdown to Black Friday at Nielsen Dodge. Hundreds of vehicles in stock with big savings off MSRP. Your countdown to the hottest deals is on now.
Lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $199 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X 4x4, just $224 a month.
We all know it's the biggest sale of the year, and Nielsen's going bigger than ever. You can count on 0 down payment, plus up to $1,500 overbook value for your trade, and the credit help you need.
On Route 10 in East Hanover, online at NielsenDodge.com, a proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
The countdown is on. Don't miss out.
At Nielsen, Sun is in the driver's seat.
Black Friday sales event. With approval term 24 months due at signed Cherokee 5794, Cherokee L 5819, add tax tag 498 dock and DMV fees.
You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday this season, all the way through the AFC Championship game. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical. But did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the stadium before that. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employee Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Watch every New York game at Tap Room, now with 9 Long Island locations. Enjoy Sunday game day specials, Wing Night Thursdays, and Kids Eat Free Tuesdays. Find your spot at taproomofny.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay, and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get lifeinsurance.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Talk New York sports here.
let's talk about the Jets. At least they're coming off a win. It sounds like Garrett Wilson is practicing, going to be a full participant.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging as they get set to take on the Browns this Sunday. Let's listen to a couple comments here, BT, from Aaron Glenn. I'd be curious to get your thoughts. Now, I listened to a little bit of the beginning, enough to know that I was like, ooh, let's play that. But I didn't listen to the full thing. This is Glenn Hoff. Let's go over the first one here when he talks about naming a quarterback for this upcoming week.
I just want to go back to the quarterback thing again. So obviously you want to keep it secret for as long as possible for whatever, competitive reasons. But I'm wondering, doesn't it help the quarterback's confidence when the coach comes out and says, "You're my guy"?
It helps the quarterback confidence when the player and the coach talk and they know who the guy is. Not that I'm telling it to you guys. That has nothing to do with the player's confidence.
So basically, are you kind of saying that, whomever is going to start knows his status as he practices throughout the week this week?
And that'll be between me and the player.
But I mean, okay.
I don't understand why you guys keep doing it.
Well, AG, I'm just kind of curious.
It's really getting hilarious, too. You guys keep asking the same question, and I keep giving you the same answer.
I am just curious, though, AG, what is the competitive advantage or disadvantage for a team not knowing which of these two guys is playing?
My own reasons.
I mean,
now they're calling him AG, trying to butter him up. Yo, AG, come on, man. Let us in. Come on, AG. We go back a ways when you were playing for Parcells. I think that was Canizaro. I love it. Now, that comes with risk as well because, you're feeling good. Although he did this even before the win. So we got to give my man Aaron credit for being consistent here. I like it because what I said to you and what I said to, obviously, the audience, he's not talking to me. He's not talking to you. He doesn't care what Hoff thinks or what Canizaro thinks or Samini or Dove. He doesn't care what we think. He cares what the locker room thinks. And before you get that first win, you're trying to put a little pebble in the direction to build a wall of culture. And though in his mind, and it will be either proven right or wrong, the way you do that is to establish some sort of authority and some sort of in charge so that the players can feel that and maybe kind of get behind it a little bit. And I like that he's not deviating from it, but that does come with risk because if that's just a one-off and the Jets go 1-16 or 2-15 and they look awful and they're penalized and they're getting mopped the rest of the year, then those guys that we just heard from that are getting, volleyed back and forth and Heisman on a weekly basis, they're going to turn.
Yeah, now I'm surprised that you said that because I thought you didn't like the way that he was handling the media initially.
I didn't.
Different?
I didn't like it initially. Okay. I didn't like it initially. I thought it was unnecessarily contentious. I'm like, man, what are we doing here? It's such a benign question.
And
such a benign.
Different.
Well, no, but yes, but also even last week I started, before the Bengals game. I'm like, okay, at least I'm trying to get a sense of why he's doing this and what he's trying to do. And I just think that he's trying to create this bunker mentality. Like, hey, guys, forget about the media. Forget about those guys on the radio. Forget about what's being written about. It's what I say. So listen, anybody who thinks that a quarterback who is average, Jets or otherwise, or subpar, that Aaron Glenn or any other coach going up in front of a microphone and saying, yeah, this is my starting quarterback, that's going to embolden an average quarterback to become a really good quarterback is nuts. They're not that fragile of specimens here. As long as they know behind closed doors who's playing, that's all that matters. And I admit I was taken back initially by Glenn. I really was. I just thought it was an another impediment en route to being functional. But now I think I understand what he's doing better, and I'm okay with it now. I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I've never had a problem the way he talks to the media, although I will say the media is getting tired of his arrogance. And
There's no question.
And if he continues to lose, it's going to be a bigger problem for him. I don't care what he says. I care about the results. My only question is, why is this the hill that he wants to die on with picking a quarterback? It's Justin Fields. Just come out and say Justin Fields is our starting quarterback. He's hell-bent on not saying it. Now, I do think leading up to their prior game, it was a different story because of the comments from the owner, because of the way Justin Fields played, because of the health of Tyrod Taylor. So at least that week, which I still didn't understand, but at least that week you could understand why he wouldn't name a starter. There's no reason to me why he can't just name a starting quarterback going into this week. It doesn't make any sense. And when he didn't do it a couple weeks ago, Justin Fields didn't know who it was because he was asked questions and didn't know. So now Glenn's making it sound like the quarterback does know, or the quarterbacks do know their roles, which might be the case. To me, that's an odd hill to die on. I have no issues with the way he's handled himself here with the media whatsoever at all. He needs to continue to win. They won a game. Now they need to continue to win, and that will calm down. My issue is just I don't understand why you just wouldn't name a starting quarterback.
I think he's trying to create this. Let me take a step back. Like in our mind, when he was going, 0-6, 0-7, the thoughts of a winless season, for some, was real. And he still might only win 1 or 2 games, whatever. So it's not going to be a good first season. We know that. But in the minds of many, like the conversation was already starting, like, hey, is this guy going to be one and done? Yeah. He's not thinking that way. I think, and it took me a minute to realize this, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know why he was doing this. I'm like, well, it's a very strange battle to wage, the first month on the job here, dude. It's probably not the best way to enter the party. But what I think now, I could be wrong, but what I think, he's not thinking about Justin Fields, a guy who's not it, or the backup who's been around for 15 years, who's not going to be it long term. He's trying to create a model of what his organization's going to be when they actually do become good, which in his mind they think they're going to do.
Right, as it should be.
Yeah, 100%. So it seems petty and trivial now because, again, at the end of the day, Fields and Taylor will both be gone when the Jets are ever good under Aaron Glenn. I think what he's thinking like, okay, so when we are good and it's a real question and we're playing the Pats, or we're playing in Kansas City, or we're playing up in Buffalo, and I am asked this question, I have already developed a pattern of what I'm going to give you, and I'm not giving you anything. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. And that very well might run me out of town, but this is what I'm doing.
Hoff, you had something?
Yeah, because you brought up the whole Justin Fields didn't know he was the quarterback a couple weeks ago, whatever it is.
He said he didn't.
Yeah. Right. Now, if that's true, if Justin Fields didn't know he was the quarterback, but Glenn says the quarterback knows who the quarterback's going to be, then that means it was Tyrod Taylor. Does that mean right now that who knows? Does the quarterback who's actually starting actually know?
I believe
the other guy doesn't know?
No. I believe that the people who need to know. I believe Justin knows.
Well, there's only one person that's the quarterback that needs to start.
No, two, and the backup. I believe.
But Justin Fields didn't know he was starting.
No, but he said that. That doesn't mean that that's true.
But that was
my scenario.
2 weeks ago.
He didn't know. He honestly, to God, did not know if he was the quarterback. I know he said he didn't. But I'm telling you, that's the honest truth. Like, it wasn't like him playing a game.
No, I agree with that. But that was 2 weeks ago. I do think it's a different circumstance. Now, I don't know. Glenn could be saying right now, he didn't even answer that question saying yes. He said it's between me and the quarterback. So he could be saying or insinuating that the quarterbacks do know, but maybe they don't. Maybe he hasn't, in fact, decided on a starter going into this game.
But the thing that really threw it for a curve for me was that when we were trying to determine who was going to play, the guy who was up, one of the two people up for the job, didn't even travel. So if you're not healthy enough to travel, this was definitely confusing. Then how the hell could you possibly be in consideration to start?
And he said that the injury wasn't an issue.
I know.
When he was fighting off the questions a couple weeks ago.
That's where I smell the BS, BT.
Well,
I'm not saying the BS.
I'm not saying that there's no BS, but whether it's BS, whether it's gamesmanship, whether it's purposely throwing people off scent, what I'm saying is he doesn't care. And I'm okay with that, provided the guys in the locker room follow that and feel that. And, coming off a win, coming off a bye, coming off now a team that they could beat in the Browns. We'll see if this thing picks up a little momentum. And if it does, then I think it's going to galvanize the team. And I think it's going to make it a little less contentious.
You start to believe in it.
A little bit. And now the guys, as much as they want answers, the people, and we know who they are, the media, they're going to stop pushing because they're not going to get what they want. And now if there's a couple of wins to back that up, now Glenn, he's got even more of a platform to stand on, so to speak.
Let's listen to one more here. Glenn was asked about the Jets going for two multiple times in their comeback win against the Bengals in Week 8.
The 2-point conversions against Cincinnati, going for it down 9, going for it down 8. That's something 20, 30 years ago, like when you were a player, coaches didn't do that. And it's sort of evolved now with analytics. Yeah. And I'm just curious how you have evolved in your thinking about that. Because when you were raised in football, right, it was kick the extra point, be down 7. You know what I mean? And almost, but it's really changed how the thinking is now. How has your kind of thought process evolved on that?
To be honest with you, it really comes down to one thing is I'm trying to win the game. And at the end of it, being able to put ourselves in a situation where you're down by 14, you go 4 for 2, man, you come back and you score again, man, you kick field goal, you win the game. And also, if you did miss, at least have another chance to go for it, to go out and try to win the game again, or tie the game up at that point. So I just think in our case, I want the players to know that I have an aggressive mentality. I have a ton of trust in them, and I have a ton of trust in the execution for us to do that. And listen, I understand the Monday morning quarterbacks, when things like that don't work out, it's always, you're the worst coach ever. When they do work out, you're the best coach ever. So I just know who I am. I know who the players are. I have a lot of trust in the guys that we have. And listen, I'm going to continue to evolve when it comes to making decisions like that. And I know I still have a ways to go, just like, most coaches tell you. So I'm still growing in that aspect too. So, and I look forward to my growth when it comes to making those decisions.
I think that's pretty good self-awareness right there. I think that's a good balance of him trying to establish, what I talked about with the bit of a distance from the media and, hey, this is what I'm doing, and I don't really need to tell you why. But I think it would have been maybe a little bit too much of a double down if he didn't give you a bit of a thought-provoking answer. Like, I think you got to come across as a human being to an extent. You're not Belichick with the resume. You could just drop on to Cincinnati, Like, you've got to have a little bit of a heartbeat there. And I thought Aaron straddled the line very well. The one thing that I would say, I know we got a break. The one thing that I would say, when you're telling the media that, talking about the 2 points versus 1, that you're going to be aggressive, then your play call in every situation needs to reflect that, whether it's fake punts, whether it's, just a little run-up tackle and try to bleed out the clock, which we've seen. There's been times this year where we're sitting there saying, dude, are you going for it, or are you just trying to get into the halftime? This was a big problem. So as long as that's consistent, then I love his answer, that second one.
But he's also going to be learning, to his own admission. Yeah. He's learning as he goes right here. Here's the bottom line. It could sound great, and I have no issue with anything that he said. I care about the results. So he could say whatever he wants. You could like it. I could like it. We could hate it. People could hate it. The results are all that matters. Go out there and beat the Browns. Follow up your performance against the Bengals with another win and show some consistency here. And it's not even just about wins and losses this year, but in general, if you're going to talk tough like that and act tough and all those different things, the wins better follow, or at least some kind of competency needs to be shown on the football field every Sunday.
I would agree. Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, so a little bit of Aaron Glenn there, some Jets on the table. Giant fans, this is your day to bemoan, again, the state of the Giants, which seems to be perpetual at this point. 888-808-1019 is BT and Sound on the Fan on a Monday here. Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier immediate orthopedic practice, whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex. Total Ortho has locations throughout Long Island with diagnostic equipment that's on site. Now Total Ortho Express offers 4 convenient walk-in services with no appointment necessary. So whether it's on a field or a sports court, straight to a top-rated walk-in orthopedic doctor, your call is to visit TotalOrthoExpress.com. That's TotalOrthoExpress.com, because time doesn't heal wounds. They do.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
I've sat here for a long time, and we know when the winds of change are in the air. We know it, and it's an unfortunate thing to talk about, but you have to talk about it. I mean, Giant fans are just absolutely at a breaking point now, I believe, when it comes to the coaching staff and it comes to the GM staff.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Green Bay Packers just suffered a huge blow. Tight end Tucker Kraft was carted off the field Sunday and likely done for the year. With the Packers' offense already missing key pieces, this team may simply lack the firepower to keep up with the elite attacks in the NFC. And let's face it, we haven't seen the kind of consistency from the Packers that makes you believe they're a true title contender. I'm Maggie Gray.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening, because health is a long game and it's yours to win. Now, here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi? Learn more at Depend.com.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on The Fan.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Adventure meets luxury in the new Lexus GX from Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. With bold design and spacious comfort, it's ready to take you anywhere. Discover your new GX at Ray Cattina Lexus.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Sunday no longer a fun day? We've got specialists for that. Walking the dog, unleash, knee pain? We've got specialists for that. With 45 Castle Connolly top doctors, Orland & Cohen specialists are considered among the best in the nation by their peers, which can mean a better outcome for you. From Staten Island to Southampton, our network is open 7 days a week, so you can feel better, faster. Visit OrlandCohen.com.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
1019 is the number to call. We haven't done any World Series yet. Let's do that at 1 o'clock. Get some thoughts on the World Series and the way that went down. What an incredible series it was. But let's get back to the calls here, BT, on the Giants. 888-808-1019. Andrew is in Bay Ridge. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's up, guys? Really quick before I talk about Dart. Sal, your reluctance to press the issue on that favor for the tickets, I think that says a lot about you, and I was kind of raised in a similar school in that, I feel uncomfortable asking for favors, but if it's for someone else, and especially for kids are involved, you definitely get some latitude and understanding for that. So push that issue because you deserve it.
Appreciate it. It is a unique situation that's just heartbreaking. Not that you need to hear the sob story behind it, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, it's the truth. And I try to raise my son in the same way, people sometimes offer things and you don't take them up on it because they don't necessarily mean it, so that type of thing, to just be kind of humble. But anyway, as far as Dart goes, I agree with you, BT, that I'm really worried about him getting hurt. No way do I think he should sit, but I just think he just has to be more disciplined and instructed that, you can't go running in head first. You got to slide, he's just way too risky. And we did the same thing with Daniel Jones. If you remember in his, he had that neck injury.
Yes, in Dallas.
He might not even play again.
Yep.
That was the same thing and then it kind of gets back to what Sal said about media pressure and it's the whole weight is on his shoulders and maybe he feels the need to take these risks, but he's got to be reassured to just not do that and still play and learn and progress as a rookie.
Well, I think he is, Andrew. I do. Thank you for the call there, but I definitely think that they are doing that. They're trying to instill that messaging in him. I think it's unfair to Dable to say that he's not telling him that. I mean, we can question a lot about Dable. I'm sure he's saying, hey, kid, listen, when you can get down. Chuck it out of bounds when you can. You don't have to be Superman here. But you have to understand who Jackson Dart is. He just shredded the SEC. He's an uber-confident athlete. He's an elevator. In terms of from a physical, but also an emotional elevator. Guys want to, he just resonates with the whole locker room. That's obvious. That was obvious from minute one. And unfortunately, the way he might learn his lesson is, he takes a hit at some point and he's out for 2 weeks because he jacks up his shoulder or he gets a concussion. And then that will be his moment of real reflection and inflection as a rookie. Okay, I get the speed of the game. I know what I can do. I know what I can't. And you learn, kind of like Josh Allen and some others do.
Exactly. We're in the learning period process here. It's been 6 games as a starter. And by the way, it feels like in almost every one of these games, and it might have in fact been in every one of them, there's been close calls with him getting banged up or injured. So it's going to happen with his style of play. He has to learn. To your point, BT, he has to learn. He's not, in fact, Superman. I know he wants to be, and I respect that, hey, if it's third down, I'm not sliding. I'm getting that first down. You got to pick your spots. You got to be smart. You can't be reckless. Those are all things I'm sure Dable is trying to teach him, and it's things he's got to learn on his own anyway, because Dable could tell him flat out, stop diving, get down, slide, and he's just not going to do it until, unfortunately, he gets hurt. So I mean, look, it's football. Guys are going to get hurt from doing just playing. It happens sometimes. Not even a physical contact injury could happen. The turf monster gets you. So there is no way to fully protect a player, but you do want to be smarter and less reckless. And I think that's normal, though, for a rookie that plays the way Jackson Dart does.
And I'll always take this version of an athlete. Think about this. Now, Daniel Jones, yesterday aside, has had a really, really good year. But, we always respected his tenacity. Then last caller, Andrew, just referenced when he got hurt against Dallas. So he always played hard, and he was never afraid to put his pads down. But, he didn't really, at least outwardly, resonate with his teammates. He didn't have any emotion. He was very vanilla. So, what do you want? I mean, you want a guy like Dart who's just effusive and has great character on Sundays and a little drip for the young kids. Got the whole package, man. Or do you want somebody who is, not going to put himself in the way of danger? Well, ideally, he learns his lesson. It's not a very painful lesson, and then he becomes the franchise quarterback forever that everybody wants.
More of your calls when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Monday Night Basketball with the Nets and Timberwolves. 7 o'clock tonight. The home of Brooklyn Nets basketball is the Fan. 101.9 FM and all always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Visit FanDuel.com/Evan to bet on the game. FanDuel.com/Evan to get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. We love the app around here. It's safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com for help with a gambling problem. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I'm Colonel Callahan of the New Jersey State Police. If you're caught driving impaired, you'll face hefty fines, a suspended license, and maybe even jail time. Worse yet, you might cause a crash that could devastate someone's life. Be responsible. Don't drive impaired. We are all counting on you.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Wouldn't you know if you made $7 million? DC politician Mikey Sherrill is so out of touch, she can't even remember.
It says she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So, I think we made money.
Come on. Who wouldn't know if they made $7 million? I'm Jack Chittarelli, born and raised right here in New Jersey, where it's never been harder for the middle class. That's why I'm running for governor, to fix our state. In Congress, the only thing Mikey Sherrill fixed was her bank account. And she voted for higher taxes on your tips and overtime. Mikey even voted for higher taxes on your Social Security. Who does that? Let's be clear. I'm the only candidate with a plan to make New Jersey affordable. I'll reduce property taxes and lower energy bills, because you should keep more of what you earn.
New Jersey, Jack Chittarelli is the change we need. Mikey Sherrill is just more of the same. Paid for by Chittarelli for Governor Inc., P.O. Box 225, Annandale, New Jersey.
Everybody knows Town Fair Tire is New England's largest name brand discount tire dealer, beating all the local competitors with our guaranteed lowest prices. And now, with over 120 stores throughout New England, we beat all the competition, including the warehouse clubs, the online sites, and the local dealers. Yes, we beat them all with the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
At the United Healthcare Medicare store, right here in Jackson Heights, you can chat face-to-face with a licensed sales agent who understands the community and get clear answers to your questions. We're located at 3752 82nd Street between Roosevelt and 37th Ave. We're ready to help.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. The Jets are back from their bye, and Aaron Glenn will not say if Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor will start against the Browns. The head coach was asked today if it would be better for the starter's confidence if everybody knew he was the starter.
It helps the quarterback confidence when the player and the coach talk and they know who the guy is. It's not that I'm telling it to you guys. That has nothing to do with the player's confidence.
But then Glenn would not confirm if Fields or Taylor already know he's QB1. So what competitive advantage do the Jets gain by keeping this private?
My own reasons.
Okay, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski just announced he is giving over play calling duties to offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. Monday Night Football has the Cowboys hosting the Cardinals. Westwood One coverage at 7:30 on our AM signal because Nets Wolves at 7's on the FM side. The Knicks host the Wizards at 7:30. Fan weather is sponsored by the United Healthcare Medicare store in Jackson Heights. It is 58 degrees and overcast in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Now back on the bed. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. Did you have a good time watching the World Series over the course of the week? I mean, what a tremendous series that was.
Dude, what a wild series, man. I did. I mean, I really did. I felt horrible for Donnie. I said to you, I guess, I don't know, maybe an hour or so ago.
Yeah.
Said, did you see the video of Mattingly in the dugout? And I didn't even notice it right away. I saw it, I think I saw it the next morning where Mattingly, I think he was the last one literally in Toronto's dugout, just staring at the field because it's assumed that he's going to retire. He's got young kids and, second marriage and, get on with life and basically 36 years in the game. And Bo Bichette just came up and gave him a massive bear hug, and you couldn't really tell what was said, but it was such a hug of respect. And so I really felt badly for Mattingly, but it was an incredible series, and I saw your tweet. Rather not get there than lose that way.
Yes, I would 1,000%. I could not take a loss like that. Think about it. It's not just a pound for pound, like Yankees got to the World Series and lose like that. No. You're talking about an organization, a franchise that hadn't been to the World Series since 1993. Okay? And if you go with the Mets, they haven't won a World Series since 86, which is almost 40 years now, going on 40-year anniversary of that. If you were to take me, a Met fan, and put me in that spot, the Mets get back to the World Series, which they've been, like we said, plenty of times before, 2000 to 2015, whatever. Even last year, the NLCS. But think about it. Get to the World Series, have the World Series come back to your home, needing to win one of two, have a lead in the ninth inning with your closer on the mound, and you lose like that, not to mention all the other things, getting doubled off, the ball stuck in the wall.
Oh, my God, that was huge. I mean, that was nuts.
I meant what I posted on social media.
Yeah.
I would rather not even get there than come that close that I could taste it only to have it snatched from me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get a part of that. I don't know. My default for that question, that comes up a lot. Like, hey, would you rather lose in excruciating or not get there at all?
Right.
Especially for baseball, where think about the journey that the Toronto, now the culmination is soul crushing, understood. But they were given a month of memories and, going to the bars and going to the games and just waking up hey, we got a big game tonight. So, I mean, does the loss usurp those amazing feelings, or is it the other way around? I don't know. It's individually driven. But what do you think would have been more painful? Giving up a pinch hit home run, right, with your closer, or having somebody thrown out at the plate by 2 inches because he did not get a good secondary lead.
Yeah, I mean,
what's worse?
I get it, dude. Both excruciating. Look, and I get the argument about the moments that were provided. Yeah, okay, but you could say that then what? The Mets haven't had any great moments over the last 40 years? Of course they have. Like, there have been many seasons that have been a lot of fun and going on the postseason runs. Ultimately, You're chasing the championship. All those Toronto Blue Jays fans that were, the Yankees lose and taking bows and exciting and all this, all that. Dude, you haven't won a World Series since 1993. Like, that still pertains true. All that joy that you had led to the ultimate pain, the ultimate defeat. You had it. You were right there. You had the big bad Dodgers dead, and you gave it away. Like that, I'm telling you, as a fan, from a fan perspective, as somebody who experienced it with the Super Bowl, with the Falcons Super Bowl, it honestly did knock a big part of my fandom out. Like, I really don't even care about the Falcons anymore, and it progressively declined rapidly from that Super Bowl loss on. When you work your life as a fan and invest everything as a fan, it's different for the Yankees because they've won so much. So that, you can't relate to that. Imagine here's the equivalent that maybe you could relate to. Imagine the Jets getting to a Super Bowl, whenever that may be, 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, whatever. They finally get to another Super Bowl, the first one in your lifetime, and they have a lead. Fourth quarter, the Jets are up the way maybe the Broncos were up or whatever, or the Bengals, I was going to say, not Broncos. The Bengals were up, or the Giants were up over the Broncos. Like, they have a lead, a big lead. You're tasting it. It's over. Jet fans, you're about to win the Super Bowl. This is it. And yet, somehow, some way, either you cough it up, the other team snatches it from you, whatever it may happen, and you lose. Are you going to sit here the next day and be like, well, I enjoyed the run?
Come on, man. You know I'm not. But again, I'm the wrong person to ask because I've never seen the Super Bowl, so I can, and I mean this, like, I guess I mean it now. I don't know. This team's got me so twisted. I don't even know what I mean anymore with them. But, like, I think if I got to the Super Bowl and lost in the fashion that you're describing, I mean, I'd probably be inconsolable, but I think eventually I would find a way to regenerate, at least that I could say, well, at least I got to a Super Bowl. The next step would be winning. That's why it's almost the easy way out to answer that, I know.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know the answer. I get it. It's torment either way. But
I'm telling you, I am somebody who has experienced it, rooting for a losing franchise in the Falcons, a team that I saw get to the Super Bowl in 98 and lose, different type of loss, okay, whatever. And then from there was, well, they got to get back to another one, And years of futility, then playoff struggles, whatever. Then they get back to one. And I'm investing all the time, investing my emotion in it, my energy time, my passion, all that stuff, going to games. And then they get there and they have the game won, 28-3 late third quarter. I felt like I was going to be a Super Bowl champion. And then it goes away. And there's no way that after you invest all that and you get to that point where you had it, there's no way to regenerate. So for Toronto, and yes, they won more recently, like the Falcons never won a Super Bowl, but when you haven't won since 93.
That's two generations of fans who've never seen anything.
Exactly right. So there are a lot
there's two.
Correct. So there are a lot of fans that haven't experienced that before. They somehow beat the Yankees in the postseason series. They dominate the regular season. This was their year. They get there to the World Series. They have to win one game at home. By the way, we could say the same thing about the Knicks in 93, 94.
Yeah.
And now it was the opposite because you went there and had to win one of two. But imagine them coming home, needing to win just one of two and blowing it the way that the Blue Jays did.
That's interesting that you bring the Knicks in because I was going to do the same thing. Think about the pain of that, Starks missing shots or Patrick's finger rolled in 90, whatever it might be. All those moments that if you're old enough to have seen the Knicks just get there but not win it, you know what I'm talking about, versus all the years of 17 or 18 wins. Like, that's why to me it's not as easy, and it's a very personal question. Like, I enjoy the night-to-night relevance because this is also the easy way out. Like, if you tell me, like, all right, well, the Jets get to the Super Bowl whenever they get there and they lose in the most maddening fashion, doink one, or the guy catches it in the back of the end zone with one toenail hitting it by
how many years?
But that doesn't mean that they didn't find a way. More than that.
2004,
a little less than 20.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that. Yes, but they didn't check out. They were inconsolable into late 86 and then early 87, and then obviously the other heartbreak that would transpire after that before they eventually won. But I don't know. I just think as a fan, I don't know. I'm trying to talk around it because I really don't know what I would do.
It's pain you don't.
You know what? Maybe I just have to take your word for it because as a Yankee fan, it is a little different for me with all those wins back in the day.
Well, the equivalent would have been the 2001 World Series, but not winning 3 straight before that or whatever,
Well, for sure. And that hurt because of 9/11. That was a different level of hurt for me. Yeah, I know what you mean. If that was my 96.
Yeah.
Like, I know, though, then, because I know how I was in 96. I know. Because, again, I remember the 81 World Series. Yep. I didn't watch 70. I said it a million. I didn't watch 77 and 78.
And that wasn't even that long of an absence. Like, it's much longer for the Blue Jays or for the Mets to be on, or the Knicks, or the Jazz.
Oh, every other team. I think probably at this point, the one that would hurt the most would be St. John's, which starts tonight, year 3 Patino. I'm looking forward to seeing Macon doing the game. Like when I just never thought that I never thought they'd be back in this place. I just didn't. And we'll see where the year goes. I know they're going to be really, really good. But like I can't imagine sitting in the Final Four or in the Elite Eight, and St. John's is up by 7 points with 13 seconds to go. And, me and Mink are already, effusively describing the Final Four without actually saying it. Mink will have the final call. And then, boom, 3-pointer, boom, foul, 4-point play. What, St. John's lost? Season's over? What? Like, that would be, I think, at this point in my life, the deepest level, even more than the Jets, as crazy as that sounds. It's more personal.
Think of it this way. When you get to that point, all the talk and the free agents and the trades and the performance and the pitching and the decisions and the offense and this and that, all that throughout the course of years, many, 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 many years. And then even dwindled down to this year after all of the years prior for Toronto from their perspective. This year, win the division, go through the postseason. They get to the point against the big, bad, mighty Dodgers to where all they have to do is win 1 of 2 games at home. And then in one of those 2 games, the final game, you have a lead in the ninth. Like, gosh. It's all that talk, all the energy, all the stuff that goes into it. It's all down to this right here.
Yeah.
All you need are 3 freaking outs and you're champions, and nothing else can ever change that result. And then you don't get it. I as a 46-year-old, as a 26-year-old, regenerate. As a 46-year-old, there's no way I can handle that. Like, if that happened to the Mets next year, Soto and the conversations, the back and forth, and not making the playoffs this year, to get back to that point to where if you tell me right now, Sal, I'll give you the Mets have a 1-run lead in the 9th inning of the World Series Game 7 next year, but they're going to lose. I'd run the other way so fast, I'd want no part of it.
But would you trade that for a 73-win season? See, that's the rub to me. The insignificance and the complete mental detachment versus being all in and getting crushed.
Well,
and for me, it's more appealing to have 5 or 6 months to cheer, to believe, because otherwise, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
All these conversations about us screaming for Shane and Dable and Isaiah Thomas back in the day and Stump Merrill back in the late 80s and George at his looniest and the Wilpons not spending enough money. Like, if we actually get seasons that are 90-plus wins or a top seed in the AFC or whatever it might be, the Rangers winning a division and making a run for the Cup or the President's Cup. Yeah, I know the Rangers didn't win the Cup that year, but, I mean, for 6 months, that was a pretty amazing run. So I don't think it's a very easy answer. I respect every answer, but I got to throw one more thing in here real quick, Bob, aside from the fan stuff. Like, what I take away, too, from the World Series, particularly some of the nuances of the way the game went as the night went on, we can sit here and talk about launch angle, right, and home runs and this and that. Think about the way the season was ultimately defined. Now, I know what IKF said, and IKF was told by his third base coach, don't wander too far off third base because if there's a line drive, you've got to be equal distance from the bag, from the third baseman, blah, 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 get back in time. We don't want to double up. All right, no kidding, right? We get that. To be on third base, and I actually stopped it 10 times like there's no way I just saw what I thought I saw. And as the bat is hitting the ball, IKF is a half a foot off at third base. And to me, like, that's what I wouldn't be able to reconcile. When the moment you show up in middle, whether it's Dunedin in Toronto, Tampa for the Yankees, Port St. Lucie for the Mets, hitting ground balls to the pitchers and the first baseman covering first and cutoff drills, the most basic, getting the bunts down, the most basic component of baseball. Get a lead, get a secondary lead, go on contact on the ground. To not do that, that's something I couldn't forget. For a guy who made the majors by being a buttoned-up, high IQ player, that is unfathomably unacceptable to be a half a foot off the base in that situation and get thrown out by 2 inches.
BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Back to the Giants calls we go. Kevin is calling from Maryville, Indiana. What's up, Kevin?
What's going on, guys? Appreciate you having me on. I'm a huge fan, diehard Giants fan. Man, I've been waiting a long time to call in for you guys.
Thank
you, buddy. We appreciate it. Let it rip, man. You got us. Let's go.
So I think you're both correct. BT, Dart, and the rest of this talent is going to attract some serious candidates if the GM spot and head coach spot open up.
Mm-hmm.
Sal, you're serious and correct when you say New York is not a place where anybody could just come in. You got to have experience. You can't be a first-timer. You got to be a serious GM who's been there before, knows what it's like, past December, right, playoff football, and a head coach who's all about that as well. What comes to mind is John Dorsey and Mike McCarthy, right? They were together in Green Bay. They was with Aaron Rodgers. Dorsey did his stint with Green Bay, Kansas City, and then the Browns. And I think he's with the Lions right now, some sort of executive. But I think McCarthy would be well because he got to work with Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and Dak Prescott. And when Dak Prescott broke his leg on that hip drop tackle, I think, with Logan Ryan a couple of years back, the Cowboys still won that game because good coaching. And we've lacked that since Coughlin. So as a frustrated Giants fan, I just want to see some change. But when we talk about cleaning house, we can't just go with GM and coaching. It has to be those front-level executives. And unfortunately, I'm not trying to take a dirty shot at family. I respect family. I understand loyalty. But the family members in those front office executive positions, they got to be laterally moved. We got to bring in fresh blood off the circuit of how they hire these people and get the wheels turning. We got a quarterback. Granted, it is his rookie year, but look at what he's doing with what he has. It's pretty dang impressive.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, and thank you for the call, Kevin. Good stuff, and we appreciate the support, listening to us, and taking the time to give us a call here. Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart has been impressive here. There's a lot. Look, I mean, it is going to be appealing. It's New York. It's the Giants, all those different things. I know the recent history has not been very good, but it would be appealing. I think there are different ways you could go. Do you go ultra experience in Bill Belichick or Mike McCarthy to his point? And a part of me would be fine with that, but also a part of me is like, I don't know if... I don't love Mike McCarthy as a head coach. Now, do I think he's better than Brian Dable?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do I want Mike McCarthy running my football team now? I like the idea. Here's the appeal in my mind, BT, for a Mike McCarthy type. The floor gets raised, okay? But is it as high as the ceiling could be with, say, a Brian Flores, who could be a maybe balance of a more modern NFL-type guy with the right offensive coordinator, a no-nonsense guy? Now, I know that there are some other issues there, but I would have to see all options. Lane Kiffin, same thing. Like, I'm not just definitively saying it's got to be experience and it has to be somebody that, like Mike McCarthy, who won a Super Bowl, Belichick, who's won Super Bowls before.
I would say this. I would say the head coach raises the floor. I would say that the quarterback elevates the ceiling.
Okay.
So I think that Mike McCarthy, and there's also something to be said for maybe we make too much out of this because there's been examples where it doesn't matter. McCarthy doesn't seem like a New York guy. He just doesn't feel that way to me. Doesn't mean that it couldn't work out. I'm not saying that it couldn't. I think if you bring in somebody, even if it's like a Gruden or whomever, yes, the floor automatically gets raised. But I think the way the ceiling goes, championship high, is if you've got a head coach who raises the floor, and then the quarterback, when they mesh, it's a kind of a superpower, which I think is a possibility based on Dart.
Okay. Also, New York is, like it or not, just a different animal. And because I start to think in my head, like, how would we react here if Shane Steichen was hired to be the head coach of the Giants or the Jets? We'd be like, Shane Steichen, like, who the hell is this guy? Another coordinator, first-time guy?
Yeah, for sure.
And by the way, he may be a great coach, may not, but, like, look what, I'm just throwing out a name. Like, look what he's done in Indianapolis. So it's not like you can't hire a first-time head coach and not have success. Like, you can hire an inexperienced head coach and have success. That is my point. But can you do that in New York? That's where I have an issue. I'm not so sure that that's the case. It hasn't happened repeatedly with the Jets. Hasn't happened with the Giants, and even they tried the retread with Shermer, but just to your point about McCarthy, not a New York guy. I feel like you need here in this town, especially with where both franchises have been for so long, I do feel like you need a known commodity in some way, shape, or form so you don't have to keep questioning whether this head coach can cut it or not.
You need it now.
Right.
You need it now. To your point, you need somebody who can step up there and absorb the heat and feel the pressure and understand what's about to be asked before it's already asked and, disarm them, whether it's, in an aggressive way or just more of a congenial way, whatever the personality might be. But that's what it comes down to. Like, let's say the Jet season flames out and they go 1-16. You're going to have to, at that point, it's like you got to hire an offensive coach. Like, you have to, preferably somebody who's done it. And just because their offense has been wretched for so long. And if the Giants, move on, and we seemingly all believe that they should and that they will and that they have to do the same thing is the height of stupidity. Like, you got to try something bold here. And to me, bold, and I would even throw this on the table. We've got months to get into this. I would even look into trading for somebody. Because when you look at, because you have the quarterback, the first round draft picks are less important. Now, there's an absence of overall talent, so I'm not looking to give everything away. Otherwise, the Giants will never get good. But, the Jets can't really do that because they don't have a quarterback. The Giants do. All right.
Anyway, you could get McVay out of Los Angeles.
God, that would be amazing.
I mean, even I would take. I know you're down on him. I would take John. Well, I only say that because there've been rumors about him moving on or retiring forever.
That was more last year, though. I think it's been quiet.
And now
this year.
they're one of the best teams in the NFL again. Certainly in the NFC. John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh would be a guy.
You like him more than me. I loved him a couple of years ago.
But at least I know what I'm getting. Mike Tomlin, if he ever were be able to shake free and become available. Those type guys, I would take them every day of the week if I could get my hands on them if I'm the Giants. Or Jets, for that matter.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I really don't.
And we just don't know how many of them are going to be available. BT and Sal on the Fan.
We know that Giants coach will probably be available. All right, Sal, 888-808-1019. We'll get back to these calls here on a Monday. Busy. Hey, our transportation, water, and energy infrastructure is critical, but did you know that those projects are built by the local 825 operating engineers and their contractors? They even built MetLife Stadium and the one before that. That's why their advocacy organization, it's called ELEC. The Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the hardworking men and women who build New York and New Jersey.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN. The Cardinals meet up with the Cowboys, 8:15 tonight on AM 660.
Right down the middle and good.
Monday Night Football is on the Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
I'm Dan Day from the BetMGM Network, here to help you beat the books. I'm taking Trey McBride to go over 6.5 receptions tonight on Monday Night Football. McBride has been the best player on offense for the Cardinals this year, particularly with Jacoby Brissett at starting quarterback. He's caught 18 passes in the last 2 games for the Cardinals, and Dallas's defense has struggled mightily defending anyone this year, let alone great players. So take McBride over 6.5 receptions. I'm Dan Day. Bet smarter, beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, My work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all of your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right, you get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boomer to bet on the game. That's FanDuel.com/Boomer to get in on all the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. Now, we all love the app around here. It is safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. FanDuel Sportsbook is also the official partner of WFAN.
21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Looking for the lowest price on name brand tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get the guaranteed lowest price on any name brand tire. Nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Back on the Fan, 888-808-109 number to call. The Giants drive the game, brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, reminding you to make the right choice. Don't drive impaired. Of course, the drive of the game, the first drive of the game, and then it was all downhill from there. But that first drive of the game, BT, watching that, I'm thinking to myself, I feel good about my pick, about my bet. Giants going to win this game and maybe give us a little bit of a season here in the second half, the final 8 games. But obviously all downhill from, what was it, the Niners score like 17 straight after that? Something ridiculous where that was it. Outside of the scripted first drive, drive, which they have been good at, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
It is a good
thing. But you just need to see it a little more consistently throughout the rest of the game.
I mean, think about this. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, they did look good, scripted again. They come out, move the football. Nice move by Theo Johnson. Obviously, good find there by Dart. And Theo working the sideline, getting in, a little juice in the building. And then, the 45,000 49er fans eventually said, oh, okay, now we have the lead, and now we'll take it over like we intended to when we first walked into MetLife today. And it's sad. I mean, the crazy thing is, and God, it's like the emotion where we were, even though the standings weren't wildly different, but think about where we were 2 weeks ago, taking calls on the possibilities of what the Giants could become.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fun, and like, people think we enjoy sorting through this slop. We can't stand it. It's boring. It's repetitive.
I mean, they beat the Chargers, they beat the Eagles, and they should have beaten the Broncos, who continue to prove that they are one of the best teams in the NFL week in, week out.
Yep. Yep. That wasn't manufactured energy and respect. That was earned respect here. But just like that, it's all gone. I mean, just like a tidal wave, a tsunami of negativity is back. And I don't know how you stabilize it outside of winning some games that I just don't see them doing anytime soon, because this defense is not going to get better. Like, you can coach around certain things. Like, I guess if your secondary's pretty weak, you can blitz more, have the quarterback get rid of the ball quicker, blah, blah, blah. Your offensive line's not that good. Quick 2-3 step drops, get the ball out, protect your quarterback, blah, blah, blah. But like, if you can't stop the run, when everybody in the stadium knows what they're lining up to do, it's man on man, it's will versus will, it's fortitude on fortitude, not even scheme on scheme, because you know what I'm doing. And I know what you can't do, more specifically. And I'm going to run it down your throat. I just don't know how they win many games. So having said all that, we're back to a situation where the Giants are now back in the conversation with the Saints, with the Jets, and with the Tennessee Titans. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Right.
Tankathon.
And they have the Giants, of those teams you mentioned, who is it again? The Jets, no quarterback.
The Saints, no quarterback.
They just went to their rookie quarterback.
I know they did.
And the only win that the Saints have on the year is against the Giants.
That's true.
The Titans, they have their quarterback, but he's looked like a mess. Like Jackson Dart. Anybody else you threw in there?
Those were I stopped short of going with the Dolphins, who have 2 wins, and the Cardinals, who have 2, and who are playing tonight.
Yeah. So the Giants, the big difference that is from them and the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans is their rookie quarterback has been good.
Yes.
He's been good. And yet they still can't win football games.
Glimmer of hope. Would you like one? Amongst 3 hours of negativity for the most part?
Go ahead.
I got to go in for you here. I think this is going to really matter. So you go to Tankathon, whatever website you look at, right? So right now, this is all based on strength of schedule and some other variables. But right now, the Saints would pick first, the Titans would pick second, the Jets 3, Miami 4, Giants 5. Now, because and the Browns 6, and even Vegas, but forget about them. I'm going to cut it off at the Browns because they also need a quarterback. The good thing here is that the Saints may stumble upon a quarterback. I doubt it. They're going to draft one. The Tennessee Titans can't because they just drafted one. The Jets will. The Dolphins, I would think, will as well. And the Giants won't, and the Browns will. So if the Giants lose the amount of games that I'm pretty sure that they're going to lose, they will be in a position where, hey, man, we got our quarterback. We don't know who our coach is going to be. We don't know who our GM is going to be. We don't know about some other things, but we got our guy under center, which means you want a quarterback, you come and trade with me, which means the Giants can hold, not all teams, because I think the Saints will have fewer wins, etc., and maybe even the Jets, but they will be able to hold certain teams that are quarterback desperate hostage for a lot of draft picks, which could, if you actually hire the right GM and the right head coach, can kind of really accelerate things a little bit here.
Yeah, and you think
That's
about
down the road, though.
You think about it, too, with the Giants. Like, I'm thinking, well, why not just take the best player available, which they still could do, but they did that without Abdul Carter. I'm not knocking him.
No,
but where's the impact been on defense? They had a top pick in Kayvon Thibodeau. We went over this before. Or even offensively, they have the top receiver when Malik Neighbors comes back. Like, what would be the Giants' top?
Don't forget about Evan Neal. It's easy to forget about him. But we talk about Kayvon Thibodeau like he's a complete stiff, which he's not. I mean, Evan Neal was worse.
Yeah, and maybe that's where the Giants would go, pick the best lineman available. Anyway, we can't do the draft stuff when we're just. It's November 3rd, for goodness sake. Tony is calling from Bayonne, New Jersey. Well, baseball free agency soon, thankfully. Tony, what's up?
What's up, guys? Listen, what do you think about this? Mara and Tish fire Shane in season, fire a shot across the bow of this team, give the fans a pound of flesh. This guy has been awful. He wouldn't give Barkley $12 million, but he gave it to Slayton, who dropped another touchdown pass. He drafted Thibodeau, who's been a bust, who wants to be a news anchor like Strahan. This guy doesn't even make tackles. There's no depth on this team. We got chickens without heads running around in the secondary. They're pulling people off the street. I mean, where are we going here?
Nowhere. You're going to go to a new regime, hopefully, to get things going. Think about what you just said, though, Tony. And that would be, and we appreciate you being out of answers and being incredibly frustrated. Thanks for the call, man. I get it. So, I guess I'll take you literal for the sake of the conversation, but when you called up and say, fire Shane today, okay. I mean, what would that accomplish? I mean, there's still, I know you don't want to hear this right now, but there's still like transactional things that need to occur. Practice squad stuff and developmental stuff. And to fire the general manager today is not going to happen. That's not what you do to give your fans a pound of flesh. I do believe there's a time and a place. You got to throw your fan base a piece of meat, and that should be the DC. You start with that.
Well,
at the very least, you start there.
But if you're going to clean house, and I understand what you're saying, but if you're going to clean house and they've made their definitive decision, and my fear is that they have not made their definitive decision with both guys, because that's what it should be. If you made that decision, why not just get it over with and move on already?
Because it could get worse. Look at the Jets last year.
Yeah.
Remember
Well,
that? It got worse for the Jets last year.
But there's 8 weeks to go.
That's a lot of football. That's a lot of practices. That's a lot of time in the building, man. That's not 8 days. That's every day. That's 2 months of. Hey, here's the key card. Let me into the facility. Let's go watch film. Let's hit the practice
If you
field.
fire Shane and Dable and let Kafka take over as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And get him some experience. Not that you care about that, but I don't think that there's going to be a ridiculous drop off offensively. And if you're worried about what Jackson Dart and Dable need to do together, then that's a whole different conversation.
Which I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm not.
So then I'd rather just expedite the process. And I'm not saying that I need to see. I don't need the pound of flesh. I know that it's over. I don't care. They're not going to do me any favors by firing these. I know the fans want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see them eventually, whenever that may be, move on. I'm just saying that what's the upside to keeping these guys if you know that they're not going to be here beyond the season?
Yeah, I mean, they're tangibly not a ton, to be very honest with you. I think the upside could be, now we're not in the building. If the building is still fairly healthy, and maybe this is something that Tiki can talk about coming up next. He obviously, is there and whatever. I mean, we're not there. So if the building's still fairly healthy and they're still somewhat connected, that's reason why you wouldn't fire them. Because listen, now, I was on board. I'm like, get rid of Salah. And then they did it. And I'm like, oof, it's worse with
But they were still
here.
trying to save the season.
No, I know. It wasn't exactly apples to apples fair. But it could always get worse. And there's still too many young, impressionable people, and I'm talking about players, in the building where if it becomes like a lawless environment and there's just no order, it could be even more damaging than just losing with Dable and Shane still here. So that's why I would not do it here. And I wouldn't do it today. And I'm really not into the pound of flesh either. There have been times where I have been. I don't think this is one of them. Maybe I'm just less spiteful as I've gotten older, but I don't think that really solves anything now. But the defensive coordinator should not be allowed in the building. Now, that's easy to say. That's not a pound of flesh. That's just getting rid of somebody who's horrendous at his job.
As we start to spin things forward here on the BT and Sal show, some free agency news that pertains to both the Mets and the Yankees. We'll get to that when we come back, have a little discussion, and then continue with the calls. 888-808-1019.
It's Evan and Tiki. Afternoons on the Fan 101.9 FM.
Something they haven't been able to do, they're going to have to do extraordinarily efficiently this week in stopping the run.
Listen to Evan and Tiki on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Dodgers-Blue Jays World Series will go down as one of the greatest fall classics in history. It's also a reminder of how thin the margin is between winning and losing. Toronto came close to knocking the Dodgers out on multiple occasions. It defied analysis because the series came down to actual inches. It was exhilarating and heartbreaking the way only great sporting events can be. I'm Andrew Perloff.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight
TikTok knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
Sitting in the driver's seat of the Nissan Kicks is like the best seat in the house. You're in the action. And with the Nissan Kicks all-wheel drive, you can go find the best views. And with the 10-speaker Bose Personal Plus audio system, you can hear everything. Your new wheels await. Reimagine your ride with the reimagined Nissan Kicks. Now get the 2025 Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830. Shop your local Nissan store or nissanusa.com. Starting MSRP at $21,830 for base model. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. MSRP. MSRP excludes up to $1,495 destination and handling charges, tax, title, and license. Dealer sets actual price.
Want fast, reliable home internet? Switch to Verizon Fios, where you get the 100% fiber optic network with speeds up to 2 gig. And if you're looking for live TV with up to 400 plus channels and live sports, Fios TV is where it's at. Get the internet speed you want and the TV you love when you bundle Fios home internet and TV with Verizon. Plus, get the latest deals when you call 1-883-VERIZON and switch to Verizon Fios today. Availability varies.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Hey, it's Tiki. Are you looking to enhance your home experience? Discover the new Sloman's Shield Link, the ultimate all-in-one ecosystem for integrating your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Sloman's Shield Link takes everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects other devices to react based on your actions. Imagine arriving at home at night and your lights, favorite music, and TV turn on as you enter your home. Whether you want your thermostats to turn down when you turn on your alarm or automatically lock your doors and ensure your security lighting is on. These scenarios are a reality with the Sloman's Shield Link integration platform. The Sloman's Shield Link is compatible with devices you already have in your home. Sloman's includes installation for all devices. Plus, they offer 24/7 support. Whether you need to troubleshoot a problem or want to add programming, you can call at any time. Embrace the future of home living by calling 1-800-ALARM me today or visit SlomanShieldLink.com to get the Sloman's Shield Link.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Hey, shh.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating expert. Mike is in Oceanside. What's up, Mike?
Just give me a second because I want to scream just like Sal does right now, but I can't because I have no voice for my kids' games this weekend. Who's the best player on San Francisco?
C-Mac.
Okay. How does he walk into the end zone untouched on that touchdown?
I don't know. It's a great question.
The Giants didn't have anybody covering him. How do you not have somebody covering multiple times? Multiple times. They're talking about C-Mac running free. How do you not have him? You should have him doubled, let alone not covered.
Wait. And then when they almost killed Jackson Dart, Andrew Thomas, yes, he had a great season, but he quit on that play if you watch it. His guy came back around and blindsided Dart, and it's the coordinators.
Oh, that's a given.
The defensive coordinator, Bowen, is an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. You can get a peewee guy to run a better defensive scheme than this guy. He's awful.
BT and Sal on The Fan. That was the call of the day. I'm just trying to read these. Pat Leonard here had a tweet a minute ago before I get into the baseball stuff before we say goodbye here. Pat Leonard, Daily News, covers the Giants. Brian Dable, still the Giants head coach. Shane Bowen, still the Giants defensive coordinator and play caller. Dable alluded to possible changes in the defensive scheme to address some of the issues, but said he doesn't think it would be anything major. Dable pinned most of the problems on the collective group, said it's not just any one player. Pat asked him if that attitude actually addresses the real individual mistakes and issues that are happening, meaning, Dable saying it's a collective group, not any player. Dable said those things get addressed. Now, the problem is, Pat and Dable could go back and forth, whatever it may be. Problem is the results continue to be the same. So I don't care how he's going about it, BT, or what he says or who he thinks to blame, meaning Dable. Mm-hmm. If the results continue to be the same, then whatever he's doing or whatever he thinks clearly is just not working.
If they had better players, they would be better, even if they had deficient coaching, right? If they had really good coaching and subpar players, they would still be better than they are. Right. So right now they have subpar coaching and too many frontline players who are not playing up to their capabilities and too many guys who just aren't suited to start on a good NFL defense.
Right. They have poor coaching, bad players, poor results.
That's good at the track.
How?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's shocking. Wow, how are they 2-7 in the third straight year? Here's how. They don't have good enough players or they don't have good enough coaching. That's it. End of story. Break down the film any which way you want. It all leads to the same road. None of it is nearly good enough. You can decide why that may be the case. It's not good enough. All of it. Make excuses left and right. It's the same damn crappy record 3 straight years. All right. So the baseball stuff that I teased before. Now, this is not a big deal because we all expected it to happen, but both Cody Bellinger and Edwin Diaz have opted out of their contracts. Mm-hmm. They will be free agents. Among others, Robert Suarez of the Padres also opted out.
Saw that.
He will be a free agent, so you get Suarez and Diaz atop the free agent, closer market. Mm-hmm. Look, the Yankees need to bring back Bellinger. Bottom line.
I agree.
Yeah, that's got to be a top priority.
Yeah, and I even said, I don't want just Bellinger, and I know that they won't do this, but go out and have a talk with Kyle, like a real talk. Get Bellinger and Tucker. Again, this is probably fairy tale land. It's not going to happen. Bellinger he's absolutely vital to what they do this offseason. Because if they don't bring back Bellinger, and I believe he loves it here, and I believe that they will absolutely get it done, but until it's done, you don't know. Also thought Soto was probably going to stay. But I think it's more clear Bellinger does love being a Yankee. But we'll see, whatever. I think that if they don't do that, now all right, well, now Grisham might be in play. Oh, we missed out on Bellinger. We got to save face. Let's overpay Grisham a little bit, or let's invest maybe a little bit more hope than we're ready to do in some of the young kids like Spencer Jones or Jason Dominguez. I just think if they can wrap up Bellinger 5 years, whatever it might be, 4+1, I think it really it sets the rest of their offseason in motion because he could play first, he could play center, he could play left, and then they could really attack the market smartly.
Yeah, and if they are going to let him go, then the Mets should be pouncing all over him because they also need a center fielder. I'm in a weird... logically and practically, I understand the argument of either the Mets, let's just say from their perspective, not pursuing Bellinger on top of the big contracts that they have already committed to position player-wise, knowing that you need pitchers. Also, I'm not of the belief that, I would not want to extend closers and give them big money.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you, kind of.
Okay, just in theory, I think it's a faulty practice.
Yeah.
and maybe the Mets escaped one here with Diaz, meaning he opts out now, okay, and they don't have to commit long term. However, if you don't bring him back, who the hell's closing games? And he also is proven, as inconsistent as his Mets career has been, after the initial disaster start, he's been one of the best closers in the game consistently. So I know he could drive you nuts, but there really aren't any better options. So even though my mind says it's not good business to commit long-term to closers, I don't see another avenue for them here if they want to be taken seriously this year.
There aren't any other better options now. I am of the mindset I would let him walk. I mean, if he really wants too much money.
Okay, but then what? To do with...
Well, then I take that money and I get at the front of my rotation, which to me is more important. And I could also... I think it's easier to find a closer at the deadline than it is a top-line starter. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at Skubal. I'm looking at Valdez. I'm looking at some other options here that whether it's trade, whether it's free agency. And again, I'm not trying to get rid of Diaz, but he is no longer paramount for me to their offseason plans because they've got too many holes at the front of the rotation.
AJ Minter also opted in, so he will be back. He's healthy. You know, I think you bring up a good point, and it also ties into the World Series, something we're watching. Like, the Dodgers went out and got Tanner Scott, and he was a no-show all year long, really.
Yeah, sure.
And then in the postseason, like, they're going with their starters.
I know.
They're going with their surplus of starters, so... I think you're probably right in that you can get through a regular season. Like the Mets didn't lose this year because they didn't have a bullpen. They lost for a lot of other reasons. You can figure out a way to get through a regular season into the postseason with an average closer or a good closer, but not one that you have to commit $100 million to. And if you instead take that money and overload the rotation, well, then you could take from that surplus in the postseason and use it the way that the Dodgers use Glasnow or even Yamamoto. The guy starts one game, he's finishing the next, or whatever. Pick a starter, Sasaki, they move him to the pen. Like, maybe that would be the better way to do it as opposed to investing big. I just don't fundamentally agree with investing big in a closer, but if you look around, you do need a closer, and there aren't any better options than Diaz.
I don't think so. There's not many now. But listen, the cynic would also say, well, hey, this is why you got Steve Cohen. These should be easy decisions.
Okay.
Retain him for whatever the market is going to dictate, and then go out and make a crazy trade for a Skubal or whatever you're going to do with Pete or a Bregman or a center fielder. Like, do all that. Not see. It's almost like a conversation that should have occurred a couple of years ago. Like, okay, if we're trying to circumvent some penalties, some luxury tax stuff, and the high payroll, let Diaz walk. We'll figure that out mid-season. But with Cohen, you shouldn't have to do that anymore. So just do it all.
But even now?
I mean,
but that's what I'm saying.
That's the strength of Cohen.
If you're okay, but
I wouldn't necessarily do it. I would probably let Diaz go myself.
But you could also say the strength of Cohen. Well, then just bring Diaz back, bring Pete back, go get Skubal. Like
that. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. But that doesn't seem to be a big part of a believable part of the equation.
I don't think it's not doable. Is it smart business?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay, so then if you're Steve Cohen and you're trying to build a winning team, I'm not talking about smart business like financially for him to pocket. I'm talking about smart business in building a team to have sustained success. Is that the best way to do it? Just throwing, okay, well, let's bring Diaz back regardless of the market. Let's bring Pete back regardless of the market. You're on top of Nimmo and Lindor and Soto. Like, no. At some point, you've got to say that, hey, this isn't really working spending all this money. And if I am going to spend this money, do it in guys that are really, really worth it, like the $300+ million on Yamamoto that we begged them to do, and they tried, but he just didn't want the Yankees or Mets money. He went to the Dodgers. I'd rather invest big in bigger, better players than just say, well, Pete's pretty good and it's been a good man. Diaz, one of the best closers. You know what I mean? Like
I do exactly what you mean. I think it's a strategy. It's a financial thing. Not trying to say pennies necessarily, but I also think it's they just need new blood. I think that's what it comes down to, man.
That's another part of it as well.
To me, that is almost the part of it. They need an injection of some different players in a bad way.
I just want to let you guys know that we have a guy named Dove over here who you try to get him to comment on many things in life, and he is very he gives the hand signals, even though we're on radio.
Wants no part of it, yeah.
I never heard him disagree more in my entire life when Sal said the bullpen wasn't the reason why the Mets didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, you think that was the primary reason the Mets didn't make the playoffs?
They got one high-end reliever at the trade deadline. Cost them 5 games. They lost the pennant by 1 game. Yes, I think that was a reason.
Yeah, no, I don't.
He's coming.
Totally disagree. I'm not saying
Bring
that
in the heat,
I'm not saying the bullpen. I'm not saying the bullpen was great. I'm just saying that it's not the reason.
It's kind of hard when you're losing 7-2 before you go to the bullpen. No, the bullpen was a problem. Starting pitching was worse.
Yeah, the bullpen was in the game in the 3rd inning. So if you want to say by that account, then yeah. I mean, there really wasn't a starter. So really, you're right, Dove, that the Mets didn't have starters. So the whole thing was a bullpen. So in that aspect, I get it. And nobody's going to say Helsley was good. You get the overall point.
Go ahead, Dove. Say something funny.
Of the conversation.
Helsley cost them how many games?
Yeah.
Hey, enough about the Mets bullpen, by the way. Year number 3 tonight. Queensies. Patino.
Good luck to the Johnnies. Best of luck to Coach Patino and you and Mink out there. Have fun.
All right.
Good luck to the Johnnies.
Thank you.
We get the Knicks tonight. A little Johnnies action. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. to discuss it all. All right. Thanks to Dove, as always. Thanks to Hoff for all his help. Good to have everybody back here. Thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next.
This week on The Fan.
Keep listening for your chance to score a pair to see OAR 3 Decades Tour at PNC Bank Art Center on September 17th or at Northwell at Jones Beach Theater on September 18th, courtesy of Live